There you go.
I'll be nice, but just so you know.
Well, now the Raiders won the last eight
Not,
straight against the Broncos. The
not
last
our
8
last 10.
games, yeah.
Not our last 10.
I was like, bruh, what? I had to look that up. I was like, hold on, what? I ain't never seen nothing like that.
When my dad played, I told you this. They won 12 out of 12. 12 out of 12.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I'll be nice. But I'm a Raider through and through, just so you know.
Hey, I'm born in the Bay too. My mama a Raider. It's all good. I just play for the Broncos.
No. I respect that, but Raiders are. Yeah.
Well, I did for my pick'ems, for my family pick'ems. I did pick the Broncos, so I am rooting for them today.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I like the throwback jerseys. Well, welcome everybody. We are live. I just threw out the tweet, let everybody know, but we are live. Welcome to the watch alone, right? We got the Broncos and the Raiders, but we got some other good games going on that we're currently paying attention. Right, this your host, right now, your boy CJ Anderson, coach/player. We got the agents of all agents, who's looking at every client, Mr. Peter Schaffer. And then we got the Super Bowl GM, baseball player, great guy, Scott McCullen. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I think Peter's too concentrating on something. He's watching one of his guys.
So there is no Rob today. So the behind the scenes is Peter Schaffer. So just bear with us as we as he tries to be tech savvy here, which is not his best attribute. Well, but as we're working on that, right, we'll do our best to get you the Broncos games, right? But we are watching some other games that are some good games, right? Jacksonville just kicked the field goal, go up 3 with 17 seconds left. Washington Commanders are total in control. So is the Chicago Bears. And 156 remaining, and we'll see Lamar Jackson, see what he can do. Joe Burrow made the one mistake, and here's Lamar driving.
And you got Texans Buffalo about to go to overtime.
Yep.
Wouldn't say that too much, right? It's 4th and 15. Who knows what Buffalo can get down? And that's grounding. That's grounding. That's grounding.
I'll tell you, the biggest, to me, story for the Bronco games is Max Crosby. He's active.
Got to have a plan for 98. If you do not have a plan for 98, you are in trouble. And believe me, his motor is impeccable. JJ Watt motor.
Scott, who's Max Crosby to you? As a scout, as a GM, how important is he to the roster?
100% important. He's one of the best pass rushers, top 3 pass rushers in the NFL. And if he come off the rock like he does, I'm sorry, guys.
Trust me, CJ, he's just as surprised as you that someone actually is calling him.
No, but thing is, Peter, not only is he a dominated son of a gun as a pass rusher with length and ability to get to it with speed to power, or with a whatever, a spin move, whatever it is, but he brings toughness. He brings some very toughness to the team. And he makes young guys better because of that alone. And he plays the game the right way. And I totally respect that.
And it's not just in the games. I mean, it's the way he practices. I mean, he just
everything.
If he's bringing it every day, everybody's got to bring it every day, right?
Well, if not, then he's going to jump their tails and let them know that this is how it's supposed to be. This is how you play football.
Is that how Reggie White was?
No, he was quiet unless he had to talk, but he was quiet. But the thing about Reggie, he was 280 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Max is probably 265, maybe. But Max went through a lot of stuff coming up, and it's very impressive where he's put himself at now. But he's one of the top 3 pass rushers in the NFL.
And so, who else is there with him in your mind?
Well, of course, TJ, who I think could win the MVP every year. TJ Watt, I should say. I'm sorry. He's incredible. He's incredible. I mean, it's the stuff he can do. Just blows your mind.
So if you have to choose one of the two, who do you take? Or do you take like Von Miller in his prime?
You definitely take a VM in his prime.
I take Von. I take Von in his prime, but I'll tell you what, TJ's close to Von for sure. You know, Max is more.
Oh my God! Wait till you see this touchdown.
Max has more.
Wait till you see that touchdown. Go ahead.
Twitch, but he's not as good a football player, in my opinion, as Von or TJ. They're natural pass rushers. They know how to dip, bend, and go. You know, get around the corner. You know, get inside and work the edges. But he's still Max is a really good football player. But he because he plays so freaking hard every freaking snap. You know, and you got to respect that. But it's different when it comes down to talent. What makes a good pass rusher is technique, is the idea to be able to bend lower body, get around the corner, and flatten, and get to the quarterback. You know, Max has some of it, but not like Von or TJ.
Yeah, Max is like a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? The natural gift, like you were saying. He ain't got to like them other pass rushers, just hard worker.
No, he don't back down.
Ravens.
So how
Ravens
about
tied the game.
Ravens tied the game, but how about this play? So Minshew is in trouble. The defense has played perfect. Keep him in the pocket, make him throw a weak pass. He throws a duck up in the air. Broncos DB mistimes it, misplays it. Bowers catches it. Next thing you know, he's celebrating.
Wow. Touchdown Raiders early. Sorry. I'm not watching the game yet.
Yeah.
I got the
I'm not either.
I'm kind of mad at Sean McDormand right now. I'm so mad at Sean McDormand, bro. Like, oh my goodness. Coaching is terrible. Like, just play for overtime. Now you finna damn near give up the 3. Now you finna give up the 3. Like, now they have a chance to really kick the field goal to win the game. Like, just, oh my goodness, what are we doing? As GMs, right? I'd be like, please, like,
I didn't know CJ, you're a head coach. That's kind of cool.
I can't wait to be one, man. That is like my inspiring goal. Like, there's so many coaching situations. Like, even last night, I'm at the Cal game last night, and I'm with two of my buddies who will be coaching with me. They're good coaches, and we're always talking situational. What will we do here? How will we handle this? What will we like? It's the same that you guys hear me do that when I'm with you guys. This is what I would do here. How do I'm handling it, right? Because I just you got to learn from these people's mistakes, and you do all you can, right, to maximize on your opportunities. So when you get your opportunities, you're making the right opportunities. And right now, Sean McDormand is going to lose the football game. Oh, the Texans. Yeah, he made it. Is going to lose the football game because Sean McDormand doesn't want to play in the overtime. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Holy crud.
That's Sean McDormand's fault, man. Like, oh my goodness.
I look forward, CJ, to you being the head coach.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. I am more ready than what people think and people expect. You know, I know the game. I love the game. I put a lot of time into it. Obviously, I'm gonna have some trials and tribulations, but there's just certain situations that just make sense to me, and that one makes sense. And like Sean McDormand is definitely getting the blame for that one. Like 21 seconds, 32 seconds left. You get the ball pinned down, and you have no timeouts. The Texans have 3 timeouts, and you're trying to like go down the field so you can go get a field goal. Like, nah, at that time. Run the ball, make them waste their timeouts, and flip the field. Punt the ball where you get the ball. Like, flip the field so you can punt the ball where you get the ball on the other side so you can play in the overtime. No, you throw 3 straight passes so you burn no clock. Now they get the ball with like 8 seconds left. They throw 1 quick pass. They're in the field goal range for 59 yards. Kick, game, Texans. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. It's frustrating.
I'm with you. I hear you.
And that's one thing Pete had to control when I was a player because I would go to other teams and we just wouldn't be as situational sound as I was with the Broncos, as we was as a Bronco. And it's frustrating. And I would tell Pete, I'm like frustrated with some of these coaches. Like, how are they learning? Like, you can see why these other coaches are not trying to win. Like, they're not winning Super Bowls or anything. Like, they just can't play situational football. It's just frustrating.
Well, and the thing about it, you're well aware in the NFL, it comes down to a lot of times the last couple of drives, you know, and you got to identify, okay, what we're doing well, we're not doing well, and then what we have to do to win the game, you know, right. and like you said, sometimes punting's smart. You know, throw the ball away. Throw the ball away.
You think? Holy cow.
Right. Like, punting is not bad.
No. There's a reason why it's involved in football, you know?
Right.
100%. There's a reason why it's involved.
I mean, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah, it's fun. Even though it's frustrating, Pete talk. You see it. It's just frustrating when you know football. When you're a fan, it's like, oh, we lost the game. But like when you know football, it's like, come on.
Yeah. No.
But you do that in positions.
As you're well, CJ, you did every week with certain coaches. Like, what? Why?
Yeah. Why are we doing that? Right?
Yeah. Why? You know, and the quarterback. Why are you throwing in the triple coverage?
Same.
Yeah. Throw it out of bounds, punt the ball, and get the ball back. You got 3 timeouts. You're still good to go.
Broncos 3rd and 1. The old tush push, my favorite play, and they don't. And
didn't work.
And it doesn't work
right now
because Bo Nix tries to go to the B gap.
He didn't let the tushers push him.
No,
he didn't let the pushers push his tush. He tried to get away. He didn't want to be pushed.
Go to
the running back. The running back didn't even try.
Yeah.
Go to the A gap.
Speaking of the Broncos, I will say this: I am a little jealous. I do love the old schools. The old schools is sweet, don't you think, Pete? Scott? The old schools is sweet.
The Orange Crush.
Yeah.
I remember growing up.
Tom Jackson.
And the helmets too. Don't forget the helmets.
Oh, the helmet. I love the old Bronco logo.
Yeah.
It is just nice.
Now I could go with a combination. If you were to take those throwback jerseys, use the darker blue for the stripes on the shoulder as well as the helmet, I could live with that.
What if they had the blue pants from the helmet? Ooh, that'd look so icy. Broncos run the ball. They got great surge right there. Good push on 4th and inches, right? Javonte gets the first down there.
Let's go.
That looks
right
good.
Now, we got the Broncos on one. We got the Bengals and the Ravens and OT on the other end. Let's go. All right. So, which team is worse, the Browns or the Panthers?
Whew. For Deshaun Watson.
It's a crying shame.
I feel bad for Stefanski. I actually like Stefanski. My boy Billy Muss. I love Billy Musgrave. Billy Muss is over there too.
Great coach.
Yeah, there's some good coaches over there in Cleveland, and I don't know why it's not coming together. Like I can't tell you. Like it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like the Browns will look really good one week, and then the next week they look like a team that didn't even watch film that week. Like it's.
And you know that they're the team that spent the most amount of money cash this year.
Did they? I did not know that.
Yeah, about $340 million, $100 million more than a bunch of other teams, and they're the worst team in football. I get it.
They're not the worst team in football.
What do you mean? They just got blown out by the Commanders today.
My son's team is the worst team in football.
Carolina.
I get it, but I'll tell you something. If they played, it wouldn't be an exciting game.
Well, the thing about with Cleveland is the fact that they guaranteed the money, of course, which I get. People make bad decisions, but that's a really, really, really bad one. But he's not playing to even close to what he was. You know,
I know
he sat out a year and a half. I get it. And you know, as any kind of football player, especially a quarterback, when you sit out a year and a half, if you don't have the live reps, then things are going to happen. You know, and he had talent now. When he was at Houston, he was balling now. I mean, he was a top 5 quarterback hands down.
Right,
Hands
a lot
down.
like Stroud is. Same guy.
But now it's just like I don't know what's going on. Because they have a really good defense. They do. And I know they're giving up some points now, but they have a good defense. They have a damn good D coordinator.
Yeah, I like Schwartz.
Portland Sutton with a big drop on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, you got to catch that for your young quarterback.
If you're going to be that A receiver, the WR1, and we put the ball in your stomach, you got to come down with it.
Yeah, you got to catch that. Bo actually put it in the right spot. On 3rd down, you can't drop that. Raiders is getting the ball after a punt. But you're right. You're right, Scott. You're right about Deshaun, and I'm just trying to figure out like where's the disconnect, or do you love football, or
Correct.
I don't like to.
There's something going on,
but there's something just not right because he's not playing up to what he is, and what we've known him to be.
Well, I know that they have 3 significant injuries on the offensive line. That doesn't help.
But still, though, you still make plays. You're a football player. You make plays. I don't give a cred who's on the old line.
Yeah, it's the things when it looks good, Pete. He doesn't make it.
Correct.
Like when the things are bad, it's like okay, there's offensive line, he got sacked, and there's this. But it's when the pocket is clean, or when things do look good, or receivers are open, and he's like missing. He's missing.
Yep.
He's missing those guys, like truly missing those guys, Pete. Like out of character missing too. Like it's not like.
Talk a little bit about
what?
The Jets and the Vikings today. Aaron Rodgers, at some point, if you've got Aaron Rodgers, thanks.
That's it. It's a lot of handcuffing going over there.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Aaron can do what he wants to do.
That's what I'm saying. If you got Aaron Rodgers,
I think Salah has that defensive mindset. Like we're gonna run the ball and play great defense, and then we just need you to make a couple throws. But you got Aaron Rodgers. You need more than a couple throws. Let him do his thing.
Let me ask you this, fellas. Let me ask you this, guys. When's the last year that Aaron Rodgers played well?
2022.
Nope. 2021.
Is that the year he went like 40-3, 40-6?
Yeah. He was the MVP. Look,
right.
Last year I get it. Injury, boom, out. The year before that, why do you think?
29 and something.
Yeah, why do you think Green Bay was like, we're fine without him?
Well, he's definitely regressing. I'm not saying he's definitely not MVP caliber Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, but when he play well, he's sitting at 2-3 right now. He's had 5 starts. He's sitting at 2-3.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously he got traded. It went like free agency where he can choose where he wants to.
Yeah.
But obviously he was involved on the trade. The Jets, I don't think the Jets was the right fit for him. I don't care how much you love Nathaniel Hackett. You look at the other quarterbacks later in their career, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, right, who made moves. they made moves with young receivers to play with young receivers. Right?
Well, yeah.
And Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and you over there, you bringing in receivers along with Garrett Wilson. Like, go play with a team that got some studs, and so you could just do this.
Well, but they have a tight end. They have a running back. They have a receiver. Okay, and all three are legit players. All 3. And he throws 2 touchdowns a day and 3 picks.
Yeah, one of those picks was pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win that way.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm like, what more do you need? You want a second, third, and fourth receiver, or
Devontae Adams?
Devontae don't even fix that situation.
No.
He gives him a security blanket, but it doesn't fix the situation.
No.
The Jets are bad.
Yeah. Fumble. Ravens, Lamar fumbles the ball as they're driving for the game-winning overtime field goal. The Bengals pick the ball up and now are in field goal position. You want to talk about a little change in momentum?
Oh, my goodness. Right off his chest.
You guys got way too much technology for me. I can't see all these games.
Oh, Gardner Minshew. It's a flag, though. That should be coming back. 3rd and 9. Can't give up 3rd and 9 on the ground to Gardner Minshew. Like, you can't do that. Come on, BJ. Bottle this up. But there is a flag. Yeah, that bounces off Lamar's chest, and that's just tough. I chose the Ravens too. Now I'm finna lose this game. That stinks. The crazy thing is he seemed like he had it in his hand, Pete, like he had it.
All right, so Minshew gets the first down, but there's a flag. All right.
What's the flag for? It's got to be holding, right?
They're conferring.
No. I bet they pick it up.
Holding defense.
Yeah, 1st and 5. Well, decline the penalty because he ended up getting like 15 on his run.
First down.
Yeah.
See, I know that the Broncos' defensive strategy is designed to keep Minshew in the pocket, and there he goes, make him beat you with his arm, and he squirts out. When you get a squirt,
he ain't gonna beat you with his legs. I promise you that.
Yeah, but he ain't beating you with his arm.
Yeah, but he extends drives. You don't want him extending drives in altitude to be kicking field goals.
He's a backup quarterback, Peter. That's who he is. God bless him. He has some success, but he's a number 2.
I can assure you, the Raiders know that he's a backup quarterback, and if you can maintain that and manage that, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Don't expect him to be Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
Good ball. There's Gardner Minshew to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers has actually been balling for him the last couple of weeks since Devontae's been down. That was a good ball by Gardner Minshew there. One thing Denver cannot do is relax because they're playing the Raiders. Like, Denver got to come play.
Well, there's no reason they should relax. They gotta get a win.
A divisional win too.
Big time. And the
Raiders. And he caught it on Patrick Surtain too. In that, so they're putting Surtain on.
Let's stop there.
Surtain's the guy, and Surtain gets beat. That's not a good sign.
It's okay. It's early.
He's
2nd and 9.
Right. Hey,
2nd and 9. They're all right. Yeah, it's going to happen. You ain't going to win every rep.
No.
2nd and 9.
No. And Jacoby's a pretty good route runner now. He's got a little quickness and speed in and out. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't see the Raiders. They'll try to establish the run game. I don't see it happening today.
We hope not.
I wouldn't think so.
Do not see that happening today. And if they don't, Broncos could stay in this right now.
That's too much on 2nd and 9 right there, though.
They're
Speaking
right
of the run.
They'll be fine.
Speaking of the run, that's way too much on 2nd and 9.
So on 2nd and 9, so what are you calling on defense here? Cover 2, keep it underneath, or you're going to bring some heat?
Well, they're trying to run the ball. There's nothing wrong with a run blitz.
Put 8 in the box. Rock and roll.
But you can't let them get 8 yards either.
All right. I mean, it ended up happening.
And
that's bad by the front.
Bengals go conservative.
32.
3 straight run plays. Now they bring out the field goal kicker. Now he's a great kicker.
Yeah, Bengals just won this game. Lamar's lost the game off the chest. That's a cold way to lose a game.
But they're bringing him in to kick a 53-yard field goal in overtime.
The Texans just kicked a 59-yarder to win the game.
I'm gonna say,
these 50-yard kicks is like 30-yard kicks now.
They're nothing. I'm with you, CJ.
They are crazy.
Even in college, it's incredible.
Even in college.
So if that's the case, Scott, why do you ever pay a field goal kicker? Because you always know you can get the 30 at any given time as a GM. You can always get the 33rd best field goal kicker in the world.
Gotta tackle.
You pay a kicker that has severe nuts and can knock it through in late in fourth quarter or in overtime, and you can trust them every single time.
Riley Moss, right? He has to break down. He just runs out of control. Oh, no, actually, that wasn't Riley Moss. That was my old number 22. You gotta come in control. You can't miss tackles. Missing tackles will definitely have you losing games.
But
Broncos
partner CJ,
right there.
As you're well aware, nowadays they don't tackle in practice. They don't tackle in
at all.
They
don't even work on it.
All the guys are out.
They don't even work on it. They don't even work on it in some NFL practices, which is shocking to me.
Everybody's scared about injuries. I'm like, yeah, it's part of football, and I get it. I totally get it. I don't want a starter to get hurt, but you got to tackle. I mean, it's not like you just walk out and do it. I mean, you got to have technique. You got to have an idea about it. You know the contact. You know the contact spots.
Oh, the field goal is no good. He missed it.
I told you. Because the snapper dropped the ball.
I love it. I'll take a tie. Rob, to answer your question, does the Ravens lose help the Broncos' playoff chance? Yeah, but the Broncos is losing 7-0 to the Raiders right now. So let's focus on the Raiders right now.
Well, but all right, so I'm not going to give Scott's passwords away, but it does start with snap, hold, place, kick. and the Bengals did
it's
not.
Simple. It's simple.
It's simple. That's Scott's life. That's it. Snap, hold, place, kick. And the Bengals did not place. Right? You got to understand, in the GM's world, that's how simple it is, CJ. If you can snap, you can hold, you can place, you can kick.
Big run by Derrick Henry. Touchdown Ravens. This is over. Oh no, but they on the 4. They on like the 7.
Doesn't matter. It's over.
I love it. Hey, I chose the Ravens, man. I got my pick'ems going on. I lost the Bills game because of Sean McDermott, but I'm gonna win this game at least, so I feel good here. And Rob, back to your questions. The Ravens are not losing, so that does not help the Broncos' playoff chance. We have 3rd and 15. Gardner Minshew's in the shotgun, back to pass, looking to throw, throws a quick out. Raiders play it safe, so Raiders can kick 3. Raiders potentially can go up 10-0 in the close to the ending of the first quarter. Broncos got to get something going on offense. Defense has to play a little better. They just have to tackle, if we're being honest. They got to tackle.
It's a lost art, CJ. I'm telling
you. Clearly, CJ, 22 for the Broncos is an offensive number, not a defensive number.
I mean, it was a good number at one point. It was a damn good number at one point. Peyton's last year, I think Peyton threw 7-8 interceptions. I had like 5-6 tackles. You should look at my tackle and teach tape. It's a good tackle and teach tape.
Hey, Scott, though, for the record, when CJ picked 22, I was always like, I always thought that was like a speed running back number, Bob Hayes or whatever. I just never thought
Bob Hayes. That's wow.
Right, 22 is a speed running back number. It wasn't. It's not your bell cow physical.
What? Some people think 22 is the best running back of all time. Some people. I didn't say me. So I do want to get that cleared up. Some people think 22. And I'm talking about Dallas Cowboys as the best running back of all time. Some people, that ain't me.
Who's some people?
There's a lot of people who think Emmitt Smith is the best running back.
He's the
best running back of all time. I don't believe that, but there's a lot of people who believe that.
He's not even in the top 5.
Okay, we're not going to go that far, Pete.
What's that?
We're not going to go that far. He's definitely in the top 5.
He's the leading rusher in NFL.
Yeah, you can't lead the league NFL in all-time rushing and not be a top 5 running back.
Correct.
I'm telling you right now, no, I don't think so. I'll go with Barry. Walter,
I like Barry.
Yeah, Barry, Walter, Gale, Adrian Peterson, and Jim Brown.
You better put Jim Brown.
So we're just gonna miss the dislocated shoulder, 175-yard, 3-touchdown performance. But Emmitt Smith got some games now. It ain't just all the O-line. He got some games where he was balling.
I'm deliberating whether he's in the top 10. Think about who he had on his team: Troy Aikman, Mike Irvin,
get it, Novacek,
Larry Allen. I mean, he had some fucking dudes.
Are you mad that Jerry drafted well? Or are you mad that Emmitt just played on the team? Like if Scott drafted well, are you saying Frank Gore played with this guy and this guy? Like, nah, that's what the GM is supposed to do. It's supposed to draft good players and make your extraordinary players better because of the team around them.
But I'm telling you right now, Scott, you take Frank Gore over Emmitt Smith?
Yes.
Curtis Martin?
No. I like Curtis though a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
I love Curtis.
Yeah.
But no.
And thing is, I'm not knocking Emmett at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him at all. but he was a one-cut guy. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Where like
No,
Frank was different, Barry was different. You know, Jim Brown, of course, back in the day was just head and shoulders above everybody. Who I think Jim Brown's the best running back ever, in my opinion, ever.
All right, so
That-
I go
when he
Barry.
I didn't see Jim play. I didn't see Walter play. I got respect for him. That's why they sit where they sit.
Yeah.
But I like Emmett. I like Barry. I like Barry over. I like Emmett over Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers is good.
Oh,
Bro, Gale Sayers went for 7,600 yards.
yeah.
Like, what are we
I would
talking
tell you
here?
something. You wait when you watch that film and you see his change of direction.
Yeah, that's cool. He probably was a better athlete, but he only rushed for 7,600 yards.
Medical science not being what it was back. So I will tell you a funny story. And
Hey, you giving a lot of excuses to everybody, but you ain't giving them same excuses to Emmett.
all I know is I was fortunate enough and blessed to be at the Hall of Fame dinner of the Friday night before Barry Sanders and Elway go in the Hall of Fame, and it's like just a chicken barbecue type deal, and we're there sitting there, and it's Barry's there, Elway's there, and then you got like the Lawrence Taylors and the Butkuses and the what's his name, Ray Nitschke's, all these guys, right? And everybody's talking. Franco Harris is there, and all of a sudden Gale Sayers walks in, and everybody's like hierarchy among the Hall of Famers, and it was pretty cool. When Gale Sayers walked in there, everybody in that room showed review. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, the thing about Peter, I'm sure I've told you this before, but you know, I never saw Jim Brown in person. I never saw Gale Sayers in person, but I've seen a lot of really legit running backs in person in my 30 years. Barry Sanders was the best one I ever saw in my life in person.
Very different dude now.
Oh, phenomenal.
Very different dude now.
And I'm telling you, I was in Green Bay, you know, so we play him twice a year, you know, and we had a good defense. We went back-to-back Super Bowls, you know, won one, lost one, whatever. But we had a really good defense. He made Reggie White look like an idiot trying to tackle him.
John Lynch too.
Yeah, no,
he tore Rod Wilson's ACL.
I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to put Rod Wilson out there. I love Rod Wilson's a hell of a player, but he tore Rod Wilson ACL, man.
Here's a staple of the
good ball, Bo. Great ball by Bo Nix right there.
Right after the staple of the Sean Payton offense, that jet sweep.
Yep. Jet sweep went for a big yard by Lil Mims. Yep, and then turn around and hit Lil Jordan Humphrey. There's a flag on the play in the secondary. I'm pretty sure this is on the Raiders. Legal contact. That's declined.
And really, that's where Sean Payton's sort of strength is the ability to spread the field.
Correct.
And attack it in multiple different ways, right? That's what makes Sean great. And as Bo can handle that more, you'll start to see those calls more out of SP.
And it's ironic because the Raiders are known for the vertical passing.
Pete having internet issues over there. That's the Lord getting you on that Emmitt Smith comment.
You know what it is, CJ? It's good because we don't need them to talk anyway.
Me and Scott can do the show, man. We don't need David.
We can run it. I guarantee it.
We can rock it. We can rock it.
Oh, simple. It's football, man. It's what we know. It's what we live. It's what we breathe.
So while the Broncos was on commercial, I just saw 3rd and 1. I think it was 3rd and 1. Could have been 4th and 1, but I think it was 3rd and 1. First down. And they caught a design quarterback run for Daniel Jones for the Giants, and he ended up getting the most nastiest way you can get it. It wasn't a good way to get the first down, but he got it.
All right, so CJ.
Yes, sir.
I just put up a slide. This is Sean Payton's run game. We're in between the first and second quarter. All right, so we got jab 36, post kill 84, double goes.
Love it.
What do we got?
So right now we got your simple gap scheme play. As you see, interesting how some of this gap scheme is ran with a lot of single blocks, depending on the front. But you got your simple one-back power out, 11 personnel. Something we called Sarah and Sally when I was with Peyton. Called it punch, 12 and 13 punch when I was with LA. And all it is you want to pull the backside guard, right, to get him on the front side backer. Usually want to double team on the 3 technique. So you kind of want to run this into that over wink front that you see in the top box on the left-hand corner. that's going to double team back, right, to the backside backer. But what makes this play is the tight end, right? The tight end usually is going to have the TJ Watts or the Von Miller or the Max Crosby's on one-on-one block. And if the tight end can just give you enough, right, to pierce that C gap as that double team makes the move and we get the puller around, right? Running back stays downhill in the A gap and read it out A, B, and C. It's a great play, especially in 11 versus teams who like to play too high or like to play a light box in 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end.
All right, so then it's kill 84 double go. So under what circumstances is Bo Nix going kill, knowing that we're going to go to?
So you can kill when you get the safety in the box with now to make 7 in the box. So say any of these strong safeties come down into the box, right? You can kill it. You can kill it versus a bare front, right? You don't want to run this versus a bare front. Or you can kill it if you don't like the angles that you have, right? Just like this under jink wink safety walk. If you don't say I'm walked out, if you don't like your angles, you can kill it then, right? And obviously it's kill 84, 85 double go, which double go is two go routes on the outside. Pretty sure the F has a 10-yard basic, which is a 10-yard dig on the inside, right? Coming off. It could be play action. Not sure about the 80 protection in Sean's system. But usually when you run the double go, you bring it off play action. So you can have the same action with play action behind it, with you throwing bombs.
And so when would you kill?
Versus a bare front, versus safety in the box. Now instead of 6 in the box, there's 7 in the box. So there's too many in the box that we can't block. We can't get to it. Yeah, too many hats in the box we can't block. Or versus the bare front, which is 5 across, right, the nose. And 2-3 techniques, 5 across where you can't get double teams and can't work up to the backer with pullers, right? You just kill it and we'll just throw the football.
All right, now speaking of great offensive minds, CJ.
Is one of the best right here.
All right, and familiar with obviously the Raiders and the Broncos. We got Hugh Jackson here. Are you watching the game, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm not watching that game, but I'm watching it on Gamecast. There's so many games on right now. You got the 49ers and the Cardinals. You got there's another game on too, and you got the Raiders and the Broncos. But hey, I heard Brock Bowers has started off hot, and that's a good thing.
Yes, he did. The DB kind of mistimed the ball. Brock catches it and he celebrates.
He can go.
Yeah, he can play.
He can play.
There go Max Crosby right there making a play. You got to have a plan for 98. We just talked about this. You got to have a plan for 98.
You better block
him. One of those guys.
I just got done watching the Cincinnati-Baltimore game that went into overtime with Cincinnati losing, with Baltimore giving them a chance with my man Lamar Jackson fumbling, the snap.
Yeah, right off his chest.
Yeah, and then they're missing the kick. And then here comes Derrick Henry. Big run down the left sideline.
Huge run down the left sideline.
Wow. Just amazing.
A lot of businesses there.
Yeah.
Speaking of that situation, right? So the ball goes off the chest. You have 3, or you believe you have 3. Do you not try to get aggressive and try to at least make the field goal easier or find a way just to score a touchdown? Because with the flow of the game, right? It's a high-scoring game. You've been up and outside of Joe Burrow's 1 turnover. You've been moving the ball up and down the field the whole game.
Right. And going into this game, it was said that Baltimore gave up big plays, and that held true.
Right.
So why would you not, in my opinion, this is one person's opinion. If I'm sure if the head coach had to do over again, you got to make sure that T. Higgins and Chase and those guys touch the ball, just to make it simpler. Now, the young man missed the kick because of holder, but at the same time, there was a lot of pressure in that situation with a rookie player holding the ball and all of that, where maybe you could have ended it with a touchdown. You ran 3 running plays.
Right.
Why not take a couple shots at the end zone there?
Yeah, just with the flow of the game. That's kind of what I say. Like, you already been moving the ball up and down the field. It's been high scoring. You throw, which we call I call it trident, but your 3x1, number 3 runs the little diagonal or arrow route. You get You get both receivers blocked. Jamar Chase for 70.
Hold up, Hugh. So you're a great offense coordinator, one of the best ever. What's your call at 2nd and 38?
Second and what?
Second and 38. Broncos are second and 38 from
I'm
50.
gonna call Peter Schaffer and say, Peter, what should I call here? No, probably go run a draw or a screen. I mean, it's not good in that situation. I think we all know that.
Pretty sure there's no call sheet in America that says second to 38.
Absolutely, there's not one. Wow, second and 38. Oh my gosh.
So I don't know if you saw the ending of the Texans and the Bills game.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a situation. I just got on Sean McDormand as a head coach, right? You have no timeouts. You make a good stop. It's tie game. There was a punt. The punt is inside your 5. There's 32 seconds left, but your opposing team has 3 timeouts. What are you thinking in that situation?
I got to go in overtime.
See, man, Scott.
Oh, yeah,
I'm trying
no.
to tell you, I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, because you said I'm inside my 5. I mean, there's more bad things that can happen than good things there. So
run the
you
ball, get some
Yeah.
room, kick a long punt, play for overtime. Even though you know they're timeouts.
Yes, you got to play the percentages there.
He throws the ball 3 straight times. They didn't go nowhere. Punt the ball. Good, nice little return. 1 quick pass. Timeout. Kick field goal. Texans win.
Yeah, that's not.
I tried to tell you, Scott. I'm here. I'm always situational.
I hear you, partner. I hear it.
Well, you know, it's really amazing, and Scott knows it. Scott's good to see you too.
Hey, Hugh. Let me say this real quick. I spent a little time with you in Cleveland, you know, and total respect for you.
Thank you.
Total respect in what you did for Baker that first year and all that stuff. Total respect.
Thank you.
And, you know, you got kind of shit on, which I don't understand why. Dorsey should have fought hard. I don't know what happened, whatever. But I respect you. You know what? And you're always good to me. You're a good man.
Thank you.
You're a good man, and you're a damn good coach. Damn good coach.
Thank you.
All right, well,
big time.
After you guys get done, hugging and getting a room together.
I know Peter was going to say that.
No, just total respect. You know what? And just talking to you in the draft meetings and stuff, and just stuff you bring up, made me better at what I did. You know. And I'll tell you what, partner, we had a hell of a draft now.
Yeah, we did.
A hell of a draft.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that ownership, whatever. You never.
Oh boy. But these games today have been just kind of amazing. You know, you're watching Green Bay, they're ahead of the Rams. I'm sure the young quarterback Love is getting back into the flow of it, which I think is so important. You're looking at Seattle, they're up on the Giants, as you mentioned, and boy, Geno Smith is playing lights out.
He's playing really good
in the National Football League. It just, I mean, football has been really good. It's some great games. Well, you look at some of these college games that happened yesterday. I mean, it's just been amazing what's happening in the sport. You know.
Yeah, I was at the Cal game yesterday.
Oh wow!
Another the atmosphere. I was telling a buddy next to me, I was like, "This is how the games were when I was here. Like sold out. When I played at Cal, when Teffer was our coach, sold out. People loving it. The atmosphere was great." And situational football on their end, they had some situational football busts that team. How do a team come back from 25? Like there's some situational things that was executed by Miami and wasn't executed by UC Berkeley, by Cal. That you saw the difference in that game.
Well, that's what's interesting because Peter and Scott knows this. Situational football for head coaches. Coaches sometimes get fired more because of that than anything else.
Yes.
You know, just because they don't understand. You know, putting themselves in tough situations to win games, win and lose games, or you don't control your assistants, you know, in key moments, and they put you in bad situations. So it's just, you got to be on top of it at all times.
All right, I'm sending you guys, I just got a notification on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but Deshaun Watson refused to run a 4th-and-1 play and walked off the field.
Get out of here.
I'm sending it
what?
to you right now. Yes.
No way that happened.
That couldn't have happened.
He quit on the play.
That couldn't have happened.
Who said that?
I just sent you guys. I don't know. I guess I could figure out how to do it. Put on the Twitter, but it's on the Twitter. CJ, see if you can put that up. But the video shows that he waved off.
Oh my gosh.
No, that can't be true.
CJ,
Yeah, it got to be some. I don't see it yet. It hasn't hit my phone yet. Tag me on it.
It hit mine, but I'm just shocked at it.
No. It can't be true. Cannot be true.
They got more problems than they think. Then.
Well, if that's the case, they got severe.
CJ, you see that?
Give me a minute.
I'm telling you, I just got the notification. He waved Stefanski off. Said he didn't want to do it on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
So Hugh, in the game, what that happens? What do you do as a head coach?
Oh no, I got to pull the player.
Yeah.
No, we can't go down that road now unless it's something we've talked about that way. It was a check with me situation or a 2-play situation. He liked another play better, but you said he walked off.
Yeah, 4th and goal, he walked. So I'm gonna just give you what I'm seeing on this video. 4th and goal, he walks off. Stefanski's talking to him, and Stefanski's. So this is Stefanski's body language. He's talking to him. Deshaun waves him off, and then he goes. That's what Kevin does. Wow. That's what Kevin does right there, live on television.
So
he takes his headset off. He takes his headset off. He covers his mouth with his play call sheet, and now he's talking to Deshaun personally. I don't know.
Right. It's like where's that pressure coming from? It's coming from a young rookie quarterback who's playing extremely well and leading the team that's won their 4th straight games at home and not getting beat up. I think Deshaun Watson got sacked like 7 to 8 times in this game. And so
he's
getting
hit.
He's getting hit a lot. And so that's tough, and so I just think all of that goes into the pot. You wouldn't think it will, but it does, and that's hard.
Well, I can tell you this much from a personnel standpoint, I would not allow that.
Absolutely, you can't.
If that happened, see ya.
Yeah,
you're gone because all it does, it's not just the individual, it's how it affects the team.
Yes.
You can't have that.
Mm-mm.
If a guy's going to quit on you or whatever he did, I don't know. I'm not saying quitter, but whatever he did in a negative manner, you can't have that stuff.
No.
You can't have it at all.
All right, so
I can tell you this as a player. I'm probably in Hugh's office the next day being told I can't put my hands on my teammate because I'd have been mad. And it'd have been some words and some grabbing exchanges like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Because at that time, too, it's only 12 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third, and it's 24-3, and it's 4th and goal. So if you score, it's 24-10. You're still in the game.
Yeah.
So this happened early.
Yeah, this is early in the game. I got the time right here.
And they ended up playing later on.
All right. So this is
that's why I said there's more problems.
Right,
there's
it's
more
24-3
problems there than you know.
It's 24-3, 4th and goal. We score. It's 24-10 with 12 minutes left in the third. With the whole 4th quarter, we're still in the football game. Like the game's not completely dead yet.
No. The thing about Hugh knows about football players who are legit, who aren't legit, and who are in or not in. You get a feel for them every week, and it changes back and forth a little bit here and there. But if you get a quarterback that questions the head coach, questions the play call, and comes off on 4th and 1, no.
Now Deshaun, he gets to the sideline, takes his helmet off, he's swinging it. He looks defeated. He looks like a guy who's been hit all day, right? And this is probably multiple hits because I've seen him in other games. He's getting blasted.
But that's fine. That's football.
Oh yeah, I know that's football. That's football. That's just what it is, right? That's what it is. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Part of life.
But he, it's somebody on the other side of the ball. Myles Garrett.
There's more to it. There's more to it. I promise. Somebody. There has to be a players meeting. That's one thing. I got a chance to play with some really good leaders: Peyton Manning, Champ Bailey, DeMarcus Ware, Sean Phillips. Right? There's some guys who Wesley Woodyard. I got to play with some good leaders where we're having a whole team meeting, no coaches allowed when stuff like this is going on. Right? We're asking Hugh and them, can y'all excuse yourselves before we start the film? We finna spend 20 to 25 minutes hashing everything we need to hash out because obviously winning is not important to everybody right now. We all need to get on the same page.
Right. And everybody don't know about it but those players.
But us, right? This is not being taught to no position coaches, no coordinators, no head coach. No one knows what was said in that meeting. But the coaches, at least from my perspective, when we had these, the coaches know they see the difference in the demeanor of the team after that meeting and what goes into how we work going into the work week that week.
So they finally caught Minshew, huh? And
Yeah,
returned
pick
one
six.
back.
Yeah, pick six. Bye Patrick Surtain.
Imagine that.
Gotta love it. Hey, he's gonna throw you one.
Peter.
Well, that's what we're talking about. But here it is.
Imagine Surtain making a play.
Right.
Here
After
it is
giving
from
up one.
All right, talk about making a play from an agent's perspective. I wasn't paying attention for a little bit because I just got a notification. My guy Rayshon Jenkins, 101-yard fumble recovery pick for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, pick up for the Seahawks. Yeah, there you go. I just seen that.
That's a good day for an agent.
That's a good day.
The Giants, but think about that, Hugh. How deflating is that for you as a head coach? You're on the 1-yard line, run a simple little inside zone, boom, and all of a sudden now instead of 7-0, it's 0-7.
That's hard, and you got to flip that as fast as you can. You got to flip that to a positive. We were there. We got down there. Hey, because we know football is a game of mistakes sometimes. But, boy, you can't let that sit on your team because if it does, it might take another quarter to get them back.
Imagine a running back. Imagine him. He's the one that let it go.
Oh, my God.
For 99 or 100, right?
So who fumbled that ball?
It looks like it was fumbled by
It wasn't Singletary. I don't think it was Devin Singletary.
Gray. So the backup running back.
Wow.
You put the backup running back, basically your third string running back in. He goes in there trying to make a play. Young buck trying to get some street cred with the vets.
Mm-hmm.
Probably reached the ball out on first down like he's not supposed to, instead of just playing the next down.
Hey, and it's a
you get hungry though. You see that plane, you get so hungry.
It's a 5-hour flight. It's a 5-hour flight home, boy. He's not going to be sleeping. He can be sleeping with one eye.
That's right.
They're going to throw him out over North Dakota.
Yeah, wonder who's gonna grab him. You know, it's amazing watching. There's been some games right at the end. You talk about the Tampa Bay Atlanta game, right?
Yep.
Just how that transpired. Just watching Baker Mayfield really play extremely well. Then all of a sudden, it's like it slipped away.
Yeah.
You know, you're watching Joe Burrow play extremely well, then it slips away. You know,
yeah, he throws one turnover.
A lot of those moments.
Yeah. The turnover he threw, he tried to squeeze it to Chase. He had the diagonal wide open. They just ran a simple slant drag combination. He had the drag route wide open. He decided to try to squeeze it into his buddy, and that's where you start to make those mistakes. You're playing well all day. Your buddy's playing well all day. You make the one mistake, and then that kind of flips the game and changes the game.
All right, Hugh. I got a serious question for you.
Okay.
What's the top 3 things you look for in a quarterback?
The top 3 things I look for in a quarterback. I think the thing, because I think it's very important that he's accurate, that he's pinpoint accurate. He's got to be able to throw the football. You know, I try to tell some of these college coaches the simplest things is that what we look for. We look for, can a guy complete the ball? If he can't complete the ball in college, he can't complete the ball in the National Football League.
Right.
And then to me, does he have football IQ? Can he grasp concepts? You know, because I think that's so important, because in the National Football League, you have to adjust. You can't just stay sometime in a game. Sometimes that game plan switches. And so can the guy handle the football language? Because I think that's so important. And then the other thing that people don't talk, people talk about leadership, and I believe leadership is important, but does he have grit? Does he have that grit that he can rally everybody around him to come follow him? And I know there's only a few that are great, the Peyton Mannings, the Mannings of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world. But you got to have some of that in you to be the quarterback of a football team. And you know who they are very quickly, or you know who they're not.
Correct.
It shows.
Correct. Okay, let me answer this. Can you teach accuracy?
I don't think you can teach accuracy. I really don't. I think you can help enhance it by play calling, by putting a guy in a better situation where those things he does well, you try to showcase him. But a guy can either complete the ball or he can't complete the ball. Can
you teach grit?
I think you can create an environment. I'll tell you a story. I had Andy Dalton in 2014, and I really didn't think Andy had taken the jump that I thought he needed to take. And it was a different type of grit. I didn't think to his teammates, they saw a guy who was leading the whole team. They just saw a guy. who had won a lot of games. And so I flew to Dallas to spend time with him and his wife, to have him understand he is a part of the team, but he's like above the team. So
Mm-hmm.
what did that mean? There was a lot of things they were having that Andy wouldn't even go to, and if he did, he brought his wife.
Yeah, yeah,
The guys wanted to see him be a guy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so we
yeah.
talked about those things. We put all those things in motion. I got him to where he would challenge AJ Green a little bit differently than what he had. He asked for more out of those guys, and Tyler Eifert and those guys. We started the season 8-0 in 2015, and I really believe we would have went to the Super Bowl had he not broke his thumb against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So to answer your question, can you teach it? I think he had it in him, and I just had to bring it out of him.
Gotcha.
But
Interesting.
but you want guys that have that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. For me, when I do my job, I'm looking for that all positions, of course.
Yes.
But I always question, can you get something else out of them toughness wise or grit wise or competitive wise when they're coming out and they're 21, 22, 23 years old, now 24, some of the guys, I always look for it. And the ones that have it, I respect more, of course.
Right.
But also I feel bad sometimes looking back at it. I'm like, well, I killed him because I didn't think he was a tough guy.
Right.
He wasn't an every down Max Crosby type guy, just getting after your tail. And I missed on some guys because of that. But still, I think I hit on more because of the grit, because of the toughness, and with quarterbacks, I totally agree with you with the accuracy. I don't think you can teach it. Like you said, you can set up plays that similar, shorter passes, whatever, smokes, whatever, screens, whatever. But accuracy, I don't think you can teach it. I think you have it or you don't have it. And the ones that have it are the ones that are really good players, in the
And Scott,
NFL.
I'm so glad you're on this call, because a lot of people, you take these quarterbacks, and I'm not going to name who that are in the National Football League today, but they're young guys, and some of them completed 50-something% of their passes in college.
Correct.
And they get drafted in the first round, and you think they're going to go to 65% completion in the National Football League. It don't work like that.
It goes the other way.
Yeah, it totally goes the other way. And so, people see the height, weight, speed combination and say, okay, well, this guy's going to be able to do it. I can coach it in him. And I keep telling guys, you can't coach that.
Well, and the thing is, Hugh, you're well aware. You go to combine, you go to pro days. Have you ever seen a real bad workout for a quarterback?
No.
Never. It's t-shirt and shorts, and it's no one rushing them.
Right.
Not calling the play in the huddle, not getting the line of scrimmage, or in the defense. You're trying to get stuff. They're like, well, do you see that workout? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's like me going out and running 100 meters by myself. You can't pass. You need competition around you. You got to be able to live it. And as you're well aware, and I've made mistakes. I'm sure you've made mistakes when it comes down to quarterbacks. You think this is this and what it is. And we see it on college tape. We interview them. We think we got what we got. Then all of a sudden you get there and you're like, wow, I got a lot of work to do, to help them out. But that happens.
If that's the case, you two geniuses, how does Brock Purdy go Mr. Irrelevant?
That's a great question. I mean, how does Tom Brady get drafted where he got drafted? It's just, you make mistakes, as Scott just said. And I think people are so impressed with the impressive, right? With what this guy's done and who he is. Like, I give you the perfect example. I've watched the kid at Alabama, and I think he's a tremendous talent. I don't know that he's a great quarterback.
Correct. No, you're right.
Because I've watched him all the time. I watched him throw the football, and he throws touchdown passes and got some receivers that make great catches, but his throwing motion and how he throws the ball, and he got a couple of years to get it better. He can get it improved, and I hope he does, because he'll be phenomenal. But I just don't see what I think I need to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm you. And Peter,
same.
You just go back and watch the Iowa State tape, the senior year, and see what you think.
I sure will.
Yeah, I think.
I'm telling you.
But you, when you watch him as senior, you don't see that kind of guy. You see see what you guys just talked about, a guy with grit and functional, running the offense. but you don't see the tremendous arm strength. You don't see the tremendous.
Yeah, but Pete, what are we looking for? Like, I'm trying to win games. Like, there are only so many Dan Marinos and John Elways and Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's. Even though Tom Brady went through him, there's only so many first round picks who are like extraordinary. There's only so many of those in the world. Like, if I can have a guy, I agree with that, especially as a guy who wants to call plays one day, be a head coach one day, a guy who can just run my offense and be efficient, right? Be efficient in running my offense and getting the ball to the playmakers. Mm-hmm. We're gonna win a lot of games if we can compete. Like, look what Jared Goff did the other night. Like, we're gonna win a lot of games if the ball never hits the ground and we're making smart decisions.
Jared Goff was the first pick in the draft.
He was. He's a little different. He's a little different. Right. He's a little different. But I'm also not asking Jared Goff to go be the world beater. I'm also not asking Jared Goff to make the extraordinary throw. I'm just asking Jared Goff to make completions.
I still think it's another level even into this conversation because it's who's coaching some of these guys too. You know, I don't think you can have alphas coaching alphas.
100%.
I think you got to have a guy who's a cerebral and maybe he needs some alpha in him. So you got to pair people the right way. I mean, you look at this perfect pairing that's happening in Washington. For whatever the reasons are, it works.
Yeah.
Right. And so people are going to go and say, okay, well, Cliff can go do this with whoever this next guy is. That might not happen.
True.
You know, because you have to get the right makeup in that whole building right for the quarterback. And Scott knows as well as anybody. It's not just that piece. It's who's calling the plays. It's who's putting these guys in position to be successful. I think all of that goes into these buckets to make these quarterbacks successful.
So it's not just the head coach, it's a coordinator. Sometimes it's a quarterback coach.
Yes.
It's essentially like a caddy, like Tiger Woods' is caddy. Like, what do you think? It's an 8-iron? Oh, yeah, Tiger, just step on the 8-iron. Let's go.
There you go.
But thing is, Peter, too, it's the sum of the parts. It's the people you surround them with.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Like, I think the best example that I know is Sam Darnold. And I love Goose. But Gase is alpha, strong-willed, gonna talk about you when you're doing bad. And if you can't accept that coaching, you're gonna go south. And then Goose is also not gonna cater his offense and his thinking, right, to the young quarterback. And part of that is, right, just Goose grow up. All veteran quarterbacks, obviously the one time he got with Peyton, but all veteran quarterbacks in his whole career until he got Sam Darnold, you like that has to play a part in how Gase did it. And I'm pretty sure, talking to Goose, I know this. Goose has said, I've made mistakes with Sam, being stubborn and being in my own way and not adapting to what we need to do to make sure Sam is going to be solid.
I can see that.
So speaking of quarterbacks, so right now, Bo Nix is struggling a little. It's 10-10, but you're in the game because of the pick six. 6 minutes left. What are you trying to do? You're trying to get out at halftime? You're trying to, your defense is playing well. What's going through your head as a head coach?
Well, no, I got to find a way to get him on schedule, and sometimes it's just calling a couple zone read runs for him to get him back and throw a play that he knows like the back of his hand where he can go complete a ball and get right back in the mix. He's playing against a good defense. And I think you got to do everything you can to put him in position to have success, the best you can.
So he's playing against a good defense. What are you saying to yourself? The defense is designed to take away. They're taking away the shorts. He's not going deep. Does that affect your play calling?
Oh, yeah. No, it does tremendously. And so all week I probably worked against what the analytics or what the report told me that we did extremely well. I got to reverse that, to give him a chance to have success, but see if these are things that he can do, and if he can't, then I got to find the things. That's my job as a coach. That's what they pay me for, to go find ways to make this guy successful. And I promise you, there's not a quarterback that you can't. Now, that being said, the defense might be strong in an area that you think you can exploit. That's different, right? So you got to find different ways then to even have that kind of success for the quarterback.
All right. So, and this is what just fascinates me about the whole NFL. So you're the head coach. You got your play sheet in front of you. How many plays ahead are you thinking? Are you trying to set it up for your big play? What goes through your mind? You got 45 seconds. They turn off the mic at 15.
Oh yeah, no, you have a flow. I mean, I know the defense and what they're trying to do. You have a flow of how you're trying to set things up, call a game, how many runs you want to get in because maybe I got a talented back, or maybe I got to keep some pressure off of this quarterback, or the quarterback's a really good player and I got to let him play free and let everybody else, fill the game because he's going to be very accurate with the ball. So there's all kind of ways to play it, but at the same time, how good is our defense playing? And you just said our defense is playing well, so I don't want to put them in jeopardy. But at the same time, might walk to the defensive coordinator and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna take a shot here. We're gonna go for it here, and I'm gonna need you to go make a play for us." And so it's a game, right? So within the game, there's a game within the game. You have to be willing to play in order to have a chance to win. Because at the end of the day, I just want one more point than the other team. That's
So
it.
as a head coach, this is what fascinates me. You got the button, the offense, defense, right?
hmm No, the head coach doesn't have the button.
He don't have a button. He in on all of them.
Yeah, if he's not, but he can't talk to the quarterback. So if he's not the play caller, he's not the one talking to the quarterback.
Okay, so you got the coordinator talking to you. You talk. A lot of stuff goes on in that 45 seconds, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not as easy
There's some coaches that say who are not the play callers say, "I want you to run the ball here," and then you'll hear a coordinator go. You'll hear one of those, and you'll look down and be like, "What do you? This is what I want done." And so you have to work through those things. But you have, if you're good at what you do, you have those conversations way before, so it doesn't get to that. But at the same time, in game, everybody we're trying to win. You're trying to compete your tail off, to do what you need to do. But as you said, there's a lot of decisions that go on in those 45 seconds that leads to winning and leads to losing.
And so, have there ever been any major gaffes, like you're the head coach, and all of a sudden some coordinator you make a play, and some position coach goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" or something like that, or he meant to turn his mic off, or anything like that?
Oh, trust me, those things that happen every year, everywhere. Yeah, I mean, you have them happen, but they happen far and few between. Trust me, because that's not the guy you want on your staff. That's the guy after the game you're gonna take to the shower and wear his ass out.
All right, so now it's 3rd and 5. Raiders trying to get in field goal position on a 45-yard line,
Mm-hmm.
and they run the ball.
Usually when that happens, it's 2 down territory, but not here. Not here.
So now
Raiders are gonna punt the ball. I don't know why they ran it on 3rd and 5.
Wow.
Maybe try to protect Minshew from what he did.
How much time was left?
4:08 and counting.
Oh my gosh, you can't play scared.
Yeah, you can't do that. And that's one of those. I promise you, Luke Getsy wanted to throw the ball, and AP was probably like, "Run the ball here."
Right. So remember this call.
Antonio Pierce is not going to play scared. It's 2 down territory for him.
Sure wouldn't think so.
No, they're punting.
They're punting. He punted.
Well, the thing that's amazing is remember this in this game because it might come back to bite them.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are the things that get you.
Huh.
Yeah, just like the situation with the Cal game yesterday, right? Cal gives up the big play. You talk about that grit. I've actually seen like Cam Ward watching it live, the grit that he had and the control that he had, especially after he rolled right through it left for the pick 6. But the control that he had was crazy. Like he never lost focus. I saw that. But the Cal gives up the 80-yard bomb, and it's 128 left. And I thought Wilcox should have called timeout to regroup and say, "Hey, we need 4 plays to win the game." And he kind of just let it go on, and then I ended up scoring. And he tried to save that timeout for the other side of the ball. I think at that point the defense is supposed to win the game. I'm calling timeout, and I'm trying to let my defense know, like, hey, we only need 4 plays to win the game because they got to score a touchdown, right? And it's 1st and goal.
Cam Ward was the only guy that could beat him.
Yeah, like we just need 4 plays, and I'm telling my DC, I need your best 4 calls here. Like I'm regrouping everybody. I'm not letting the game just go after giving up a big play and deflating the stadium and deflating the team. I'm calling timeout, but it's tough. And I know how I've been as an assistant coach with some of that NFL pedigree. I've tried to be as respectful as I can to some of my head coaches, but I do not like having those meetings on the next day. Like, oh man, CJ, you was right, or all like, and I know it can come off. And as Hugh said, it can come off aggressive. And I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm just saying, like, hey, we should think about this here before we decide to, right? Because I try to put myself in both worlds, right? Because I've done them both.
You have to, and I think the really good coaches, the best they can, they try to simulate those things and talk to their staff about if it happened, and get a feel from the staff what they think maybe they should do. That's how you add value to your staff and have them understand that they're in it with you as well. Because at the end of the day, it's going to go under his ledger, wins and losses, but at the same time, it's the staff that really makes it all go. So I think what you're doing is right. You got to be able to feel comfortable of saying what you feel. And I've been in those situations so many times. I used to get my butt kicked up over my shoulders. Hugh, you're too forward, you're too this. But I mean, but people saw that my passion was about the game, just like yours. And so people want people that are around them like that will challenge them, because a lot of people have around them that won't challenge them at all when it comes to nothing.
And at least the good teams that I played for, and I would assume it was the same with you guys over there in Cincinnati with Marvin. All you guys, like I'm talking as a staff and players, all you guys are on the same situation because you guys talked about it the same. And that's one thing I learned just in coaching in my young career. We won't talk about certain situations. And then when they come up, then it's like everybody's like, what do we do? And it's like, you kind of want to tell them like during the week, like, hey, if we would have talked about this on Thursday or Friday, everybody will be prepared. Like I used to tell them, in the league every Friday, situational football came up and we're taking clips from other teams and learning from other teams. You can do the same in college. I tried to do that with some of the teams that I coached when I was coaching college before I'm back in school grabbing my degree. Right. I'm like, we can start our team meeting off on Thursdays or Fridays before walkthroughs, putting up other situations around college football or around the league, like we used to do in the league, and learn from these situations so everybody's on the same page, because it's going to repeat itself. It's just football. It's just going to repeat itself.
So Hugh,
go ahead.
Hugh, speaking of challenges, right? What's the process? When you see something that you want to challenge as a head coach, you got the red flag, and you got a short period of time. What's the process? And
the first part, did I see it clearly? Because I try to keep my eyes in it, because it's my decision at the end of the day. And then immediately I will talk to somebody upstairs, because there's always a replay, right, that shows, and we try to make sure that is functional. It plays right away, and we try to get that information. But it starts with, did I see it? Did somebody else that I trust see it? And then somebody upstairs, can we verify what we thought we saw? And you got to trust your people in those situations sometimes. Like John Harbaugh had one today, and I really think he should have challenged. He had the flag in his hand. The ball, it really was it was a touchdown. No, it wasn't a touchdown. It came down at the 1. Lamar Jackson went down at the 1. They signaled touchdown. Okay. But then all of a sudden, nobody challenged, but up top, they knew that his knee went down at the 1. So they put the ball back at the 1. They put it at the 1, and John was about to challenge it, and he didn't, because you can just tell he was asking, what do you see? What do you see? Somebody said, Coach, no, he was down. He didn't challenge. That's great. So that's great work by the staff working together.
And so what if it's like a 50-50? Is it the first quarter different than the third quarter, fourth quarter? And you're like, well, do you have to sit there and say, well, I don't know, fellas, it's 50-50. Which way do we go? And our assistant coaches or the analytics guys, great play by the Broncos, are willing to step up, because if they're wrong, because you threw it on them, they're going to get their ass kicked on Monday in the meetings, or what?
No, I mean, I'm going to take it. Once I make that call, I had an analytic guy, and he told me exactly what he thought, and we played out all the different scenarios and when we should do it, whether it was timeouts, red challenge flags, any of that. But when it's all said and done, you got to have a gut feel for it. I mean, that's what I'm hired for, is to make those kind of decisions. And if I make a bad one, I made a bad one. I got to own it. And if I made a good one, then praise me for that too, because people want to know and need to know. Yes, sir.
Yeah, most of the time they're not praising you for that, though.
No, they won't.
but they'll remember the bad ones.
Oh my gosh, you better know it. They always do.
But there's some plays. Sometimes I've seen coaches, they challenge a play, and it's like, wow, really wasn't that significant, and you blow it challenged. I mean, does it the size of the play? A third down play.
Oh yeah, makes a difference. So go back to Monday night. Was it Monday night, Baltimore and Buffalo? And somebody told John to challenge something, and he did, and they were
And he did.
wrong.
Yep.
And he looked at the guy and go, "Don't you get?" It's like he
Don't
knew
you
the
do
guy
that
gave him
again.
bad information.
Yeah.
He went after the guy on the sideline, because there's a trust. When you tell a head coach something, he believes you're giving him and the guy, because the guy tell you, "Hey, coach, throw the flag. We got it. We got it." Well, that voice, you're locked into that as the head coach because that's what you're looking for. So you throw it, and then the guy comes back and says, maybe I was wrong. You can't do
Can't
that.
do that. You get one opportunity
You get one chance.
You get one opportunity to keep your trust card.
That's right. Oh yeah.
And once you lose it, you lose it.
That is over. It's over.
Wait. So you can lose your trust card on one play?
Oh yes, you can.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Some coaches are built like that. Boy, you make a
I
mistake.
have seen it done. Seen it done.
Scott,
That's why when I've always gave play suggestions, when I was at Rice with Tui always goes, CJ, you always give me the right play. I said, I only give it to you when I believe strongly it's gonna work. Because if I just start giving you plays and they don't work, you ain't gonna listen to me no more.
All right, so Scott, in scouting, a lot of times the younger scouts are afraid to go to you and say, "Hey, look, I really believe, I believe, I believe." How do you get them out? How do you get the young scouts to really give you what they think, not worrying about the repercussions, not worrying about that you're keeping track of the batting averages?
Well, you just got to build confidence. You're like, listen, partner, I've made mistakes. I know I'm your boss, but I started where you guys are at, and I've made many mistakes. Ron Wolf told me when I first started scouting in Green Bay, he says, if you're right 1 out of 4 times, you're a hell of a scout. Meaning, if you draft somebody that ends up making a 53 and goes to the second contract type stuff. But at the time, I'm like, shoot, I'll be 3 out of 4, easy, And now, so you got to give them confidence where they can make mistakes and learn from them. Now, the ones that keep doing it over and over, then it's different. But I always gave them confidence. Like, listen, you can tell me what you're going to tell me. I might be right. You might be right. Let's figure it out together. Let's sit and watch tape together. Let's figure this out. You tell me what you see. I'll tell you what I see, and we'll see what happens. And the thing about it is, it's the same with coaching. As you can tell you this, and so is CJ. It's not just one person. It's a sum of the parts. Again, same as the players. It's a sum of the parts. And you got to have an environment where you can disagree, but disagree in a good way, where it's not ass kicking each other, fighting each other, anything like that. But it's like, listen, I totally disagree with what you just said. And let them explain to you why I disagree, or what he saw and why I disagree with it. And then, there's times I'm like, you know what? Hey, let's watch some more tape. You might be right. Let's go back and watch this next game. So but it's a unique process. But again, it's not about the individual. It's the sum. I mean, coaches, front office, ownership, it's everything involved. And, and you're never going to be on the same page ever. But you got to try to get somewhat on the same page. Somewhat. And then the head coaches make the decision, GMs make the decision, and then that's when you roll. But you got to make sure they feel involved in it so they take ownership for it too.
Are there any specific players like that you like? I just didn't like him. I didn't like him. This scout kept coming up to me, banging him on the table, loved him, and all of a sudden you sort of acquiesce. He probably had him in the 3rd round. He probably acquiesced in the 6th round, but all of a sudden he became like, wow, that guy was right.
Deshaun Goldson out of the University of Washington. He played safety, he played corner, and I was into him, but not really into him. And my brother kept fighting for him, and I can't remember the other scout, but they kept fighting for him. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep watching. So I kept watching more and more and more, and I kind of saw what they were saying. And I think we took him in the 5th, maybe 6th. I don't know what it was, but he ended up being a hell of a player, second contract, hell, I brought him to Washington when I was there with the Redskins. it was one of those guys that's hard to figure out because is he a safety? Is he a corner? What is he? He's got team's value. Maybe he was tall and long, but he wasn't real fast. But I remember the two scouts just kept fighting me on him. I'm like, okay. Same thing as we did a guy out of Tennessee named Paris Harrelson, and that was when I was with the 49ers, and Mike Nolan was the head coach. And I'm like, okay, guys, who are we going to take? We're in the 5th round. We have nobody on our board that we really like, position we need, but we need a pass rusher. And that two scouts say the same thing, Paris Harrelson. I'm like, what? We didn't even watch him on tape. Why is he on our board? And they're like, no, you got to watch him. So I took Mike Nolan with me in my office, and we put it on the tape. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're taking him. And he ended up being a pretty good player. Not a great player, but a good player. But, yeah, no, it's not an exact science, and it's unique how it works sometimes. But you have to listen to your people. That's why you guys surround yourself with good people, and then you got something going.
All right, so here, Hugh, here's something for you. San Francisco Cardinals game. Niners are up 20-10. They punt the ball. The punter has to go make the tackle. It looks like he just blew up his ankle.
Right.
He just got
Not
smashed.
good. That's not good.
He just got smashed. I just seen it.
Right. That's what happens. Like when I would have to go in there and tackle a real dude. I mean, at some point you got to sit there and say the punter. And people use the acronym business decisions, but well, we need you for the rest of the game. So.
Yeah.
What about the kicker last week? He missed the whole second half.
He missed the whole second half, right?
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing.
Oh,
It's like, who's gonna kick?
No.
It's bad, and he's limping off the field right now. He will not be kicking anymore today. I promise you that.
And the crazy part,
Jake,
you're happy that he like saved the touchdown, but then you're like, now I can't flip the field or do
Yep, there's a group of teammates that are going, all right, we love your toughness, but man, that was stupid. What are you doing? We got a game. We got a whole half to play here, man.
Right, because now they're going up to the kicker. They're showing them. They go up to you can see a special team guy going up to the kicker. Say, can you do this?
You got to do it.
Can you punt?
You're gonna laugh. So the fullback was over there kicking the ball through the net on the TV.
That out of the 53, you only get 3 specialists, and it's tough when you lose one of them.
Oh,
Any of them goes down.
So we can have tryouts at halftime.
You're gonna have tryouts in the locker room.
Put your hand up if you ever kicked before in your life.
Right.
I've never tried one.
All right, so Sean Payton here. The Raiders are in their own end zone. Sean Payton's using his timeouts. Minute 23 left. You're comfortable with this, right? You want the ball back short field, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we can get in with some points. I don't care if it's a field goal. We get ahead. It's a 10-10 game right now. For momentum, right? It's a momentum swing. But again, it goes back to what you guys were talking about earlier. Here's those situations within games that you need to win, right? So Antonio Pierce is saying, man, we got to make a first down. Sean Payton said, I got to make you punt. Yep. If I can get this ball back at Hatfield with 50 seconds left.
So are you telling Vance Joseph to bring the blitz? Are you running or just leaving it to him?
What's the down and distance?
Second and 14.
Second and 14?
Yeah.
Well, no, there might be a good chance because they're going to have to throw the ball quick because I've watched them enough to know that Minshew is going to get the ball out of his hand. He's probably going to get out of his hands to Tucker. So I'm not letting Tucker or Bowers catch the ball. They're not catching the ball.
All right, so they run it for 1 yard. It's now third down. Sean calls timeout, 118.
Absolutely. 118. Absolutely. They're going to run it again. They're not going to throw it on
they're not going to throw
third
it.
down.
I will run again. Just like
they're going to run it again.
Yeah,
make him burn another timeout.
That's what Antonio Pierce should do.
Right.
That's the situation that we're talking about.
So
this is what McDormand should have did, and he goes into overtime instead of losing the game.
All right. So Hugh, do you sit there and say, "Hey, look, let's go play action. Let's try to change the field right now"?
Well, how good is their defense? How good has their defense been playing against us? Do we have a matchup that we like? Do we know what this team's going to do on third down in this situation? Or is our punter good enough? He's going to punt us out of here, and we're going to play great defense, right before the end of the half. So I think a lot goes into that decision, but you have to know your team at that time.
All right, so they run it.
Timeout.
They have
Timeout.
to.
No,
No
they
timeouts by
haven't.
Broncos. So this
No
is a
more
great
timeouts.
call by the Raiders. Run
Mhm.
it, let it go down. Raiders call timeout with 34 seconds left. Now they're going to punt, flip the field. It will be in Sean's best interest, depending on where the punt is landing, to even take a knee or try to go get three.
All right, so here's a question for you as the head coach. You 2 questions. One, if you're the Broncos, are you there telling the special team coach set up the return, or let's try it for the block? And then if you're the special team coach of the Raiders, you sit there saying, okay, what goes into it when we call the fake?
Yeah, we wouldn't be calling a fake here. We got to get this ball out of there. But if I'm Sean and we feel like we got a chance to block it, you better believe I'm going to go get it. You know, we got these guys backed up. We probably got 2 possessions. I mean, 2 plays here before the end of the half. You know, or 3. It all depends on we're throwing all 3. It all depends on where this ball gets caught at. 27 seconds left, right? Where's the ball?
Yeah.
34 seconds left. It looks like he's on the 10-yard line.
And
They're on
they're
on the
on 10. Nah, they're on 10.
They're on 10.
The
Raiders
Denver
10.
10?
Raiders 10.
Oh, they're on the
Punt back up.
the Raiders
Punt
on
back
the
up.
Raiders 10.
Yeah, punt
Okay.
back up.
Yeah,
the
because
punter's
right.
sits in the
So
end
it says
zone.
there's 27 seconds left. All depends on where the Broncos get the ball.
So if we have a good return, man, I would set up the return, Pete, if I was in that situation. But what Antonio and them did, we're going to punt the ball towards the sideline. Like, we're not giving up the return. Like, we're going to punt this towards the sideline, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make this as hard as possible for them to get the return, right? We're not going to even put them in a position to get a return off.
So he kicked it out of bounds.
And that's what the Raiders did right there, right? That's complimentary football. That's good football.
Smart. Because they got the ball. They started at the Denver 36, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they need 25, 30 yards to try to attempt.
With no timeouts. You only you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 clocks if you throw the ball in the middle of the field.
Yep. But you got to throw it in there.
Yeah, I think Bo was thinking dig. He ran curl. So they miscommunication with Bo and Corton Sutton there. I got a question, Hugh, about the quarterback mechanics. Listening to your feet. How important is that? Because you see some of these young quarterbacks, like I saw Bo earlier, right? 1 hitch, 2 hitch, 3 hitch, throws the ball, throws it so inaccurate, right? How important is it that today, like, you're trying to get that young quarterback, listen to your feet, right? 1 hitch, let the ball go.
It's your life. It's your lifeline.
Let the ball go, right?
You can't play if you don't understand the rhythm of your footwork, the rhythm of your progression, the routes, all of that. There's no way a good passing game can come out of it if it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I
think that's a lost art with some coaches these days, not
because everybody's in the shotgun.
Yeah, not telling these young kids to listen to their feet.
People don't go under the center no more and play, and it's a lot different than what we know. You know, but they just got a big completion, right?
Big completion right there. Got to check the clock it. You ain't got time to do all the first down stuff.
Yes,
bring the ball to the middle of the field.
Yeah. There it is. There it is.
I mean, you're in altitude, so in altitude, this is a good field goal.
Oh, yeah.
In any other stadium, this is a good Hail Mary opportunity.
No.
So Sebastian Janikowski kicked the 61-yarder for me in this stadium.
Yeah, he could do this. Seabass can kick it now.
Yep. That's what he did.
One thing I know about Seabass can kick it now.
One thing I will share with you guys, having spent this time at Georgia State, I've learned a lot, to be honest with you. But I have a different opinion of why Alabama, Georgia, probably Oregon, everybody who's been around the Nick Saban system, why they are what they are. And it goes back to what you guys were talking about, situational football and all the different fundamentals that get
I was just going to say that. Fundamentals that get taught.
It is a different level of playing the game. And it's a different level of practice. Now, I will say this with the new rules, it's going to hurt those teams a little bit because they're so used to having basically 2 teams playing, and how they practice.
Right.
But no team that I've ever seen on the West Coast, with the exception maybe now Oregon, practice the way these teams practice. I mean, it's just a whole different level.
Yeah, but Scott just talked about it.
Wait, hold up, CJ. So the Broncos missed the field goal, but there's a flag on the play.
Offsides.
Offsides on the Raiders?
On the Raiders.
There it is. Go give them another opportunity.
They're calling it a personal foul.
That's wild.
First
That's even
down.
worse.
Yeah.
Now,
Personal
now
foul,
this makes
roughing
this
the
field goal
kicker.
kick way easier, and he makes it. Broncos goes up 13-10 and a half. That's a
There
good.
you go.
There's
And
another flag. There's another flag.
no way.
Yeah.
No way.
What is this flag? Oh, they're declining it. That one was offsides. Yeah, that's offsides.
And now the field goal is good. Another offside penalty.
Yeah. So now the field goal's good.
Come on.
But me and Scott was just talking about this, right? Like the people don't work on tackling anymore. It's just Vanderbilt beat Alabama yesterday because Alabama didn't tackle. Alabama tackled really well against Georgia.
Yes.
Did not tackle or stop the run against Vanderbilt yesterday. That's how you lose the game. It doesn't matter about your 5 stars and who's this, who's that. Like, that's fundamental football of how you lost the game yesterday. You couldn't tackle.
You just said it. And that's disappointing. Watching that game, and you just said it, CJ, watching that game and not watching them tackle is good. Watching Alabama play Georgia and watching their defensive backs not challenge the ball as well.
Yes.
I mean, I was surprised
Me too.
knowing how they practice. So
right.
It's just it was interesting to me, and to me, then that's where the NIL comes in, right?
Yeah.
That's where I got paid this, blah, 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 blah. But Kyler Murray just threw an interception to Bosa. He was throwing like a receiver screen. Bosa just stepped right in front of it, picked it, and ran for about 25 yards down.
Well, you guys missed this in the Green Bay Rams game. Green Bay has the ball like 3rd and 8 on their own 2. And Love rolls out to his right, gets sacked.
Yeah, they're showing it right now. He gets sacked in the end zone. You can't do that.
As he's throwing it away,
throws
it right to the Rams guy for a 5-yard pick 6.
You can't do that.
Wow.
You cannot do that.
You can't. So the Raiders have 31 plays to Denver's 26, 226 yards to 125. The Raiders have had 6 drives, the Broncos 5 drives. The Raiders are averaging 7.3 yards per play. And the Broncos 4.8. And the Denver Broncos are up 13-10.
So all right, so you're right now, Antonio Pierce. You're walking into the halftime. Someone just gives you all that stats.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your message then?
Well, the first part I got to finish digesting it all, right? Is it penalty related? Is it where are the issues? We got 5 penalties, they got 4. Okay. We're 0 for 1 though in the scoring zone. We didn't score.
Can't do that.
So we were down there and had a chance, and we didn't. We're averaging 6.1 yards per rush, but they're averaging 5.0 yards per rush. We got to keep our running. We got to get our running game going again, and we got to make sure we slow them down in the running game. We have 116 yards. No, I take that back. We have 110 yards rushing, and they have 40. So obviously they haven't run it very much, but they're averaging 5 yards a rush. So we got to go grind this thing out, and we get in the scoring zone. We got to go finish and score touchdowns, but we can't have this blunder that happened right before the half that just gave them a 3-point advantage.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's with the 0-1 in the red zone. That's with the 100-yard pick 6. Like, that's why we're 0-1. Like, we can't turn the ball over in the red zone either.
Especially not for touchdowns.
Right. Like, yeah, we can't turn it over to flip the score. That's a 7-point swing, 10-point swing, 14-point swing their way. So, we can't do that.
Hugh, because interesting enough, in the whole statistics thing, where does that 101 yards? It's not. It should be an offense, but it's really not an offense.
Right. No, that's it. It shows up in the miscellaneous stats, but it's
yardage.
It is huge. I mean, it is a huge play in the game. I mean, they were finna score, and the guy just runs it back 100 yards for a touchdown.
I mean, look at same game, same scenario. Seattle, New York, it's 10-10, 2 seconds left, right at halftime, it's finna happen. I bet you all the stats look the same, but the difference is the 99-yard scoop and scored fumble. Like
103 by my kind.
My bad. I respect our brothers, right? I'm a part of the agency. My bad. 103-yard scoop and score, but like
4th longest in NFL history.
It's that right there that you just can't give away, right? You just can't give away.
No.
In those situations, or we're up 3.
Peter and Scott, how about the receiver from the Packers who went in and talked about being very disgruntled because he's not getting enough action?
He got suspended.
That's right.
For the game.
There you go.
You know what? And the thing about it is, I didn't know him personally, but I've heard enough about him, and I evaluate him coming out in Nevada, all that stuff. He's a really good guy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And and the thing about it is, with LaFleur, he's a good dude. I mean,
Mhm.
I've had beer with him. We sat down and bowl credit together, and so he's not one of those coaches that are like yeah. Nah, he's like he's a player's coach pretty much.
Mhm.
Just one of those younger smart guys, whatever you call them. But he got suspended, suspended for the game. So something had to come out, or something the kid must have done that made him do that. Because he's a starter. He's one of their starters. He's one of their good players.
But again, isn't that a test of the head coach? Obviously, suspend them. We'll play without you. We can't have this. No matter how good a player you are, the team's always got to come first.
Well,
Yes.
it had to be bad enough where he's trying to prove a point.
Mhm.
And who knows what's going on, coaches know, you hear from the security, you hear from whatever's happening, arrested or whatever, but something went on where they had to suspend him, and he's one of their starters. They need him to win. I mean, you come Sundays, you only got so many of them. You want your bullets out there, so I don't know what happened. It's very unique. Let me ask you this real quick, Hugh. What do you think about the scrimmages during training camp or the preseason game itself? What do you think is more important?
I think the preseason game is more important than the scrimmages.
Then the joint practices.
Yeah, I really do. I think because the preseason game, I get to see the guy under the lights and what it's really all about.
Correct.
Practice is a practice field to it, even though I know can get physical. We try not to make it that way, but I need to know what the guy's going to do at the game.
Correct.
When the big lights are on, how does he come into the building, into the stadium, I should say? How does he take the field? How does he get ready? Because that's going to be who he is all year.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
practice, it's another practice.
And I get it. I get the one-on-ones, which is cool. Offense, defensive line, receivers, DBs. I get that stuff. That's cool. But the quarterbacks never get hit.
Never.
That's true.
Never.
Not even touched. Not
And you
even
never
like,
have to worry about
yeah,
it.
not even around him.
You don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry. Yeah.
The red jersey is clear to everybody.
I think it kind of changed. Would you agree? It kind of changes the game early in the season, knowing that it's just not live bullets.
Yes.
Practice, like you said, practice. That's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's 7-on-7, whatever. It's really cool, but still, game's game.
Yes. So whether I was at the Raiders as a head coach or Cleveland, we used to have a siren that went off. Now I know the rules don't let you do it now, but we put the ball down, and whether it was a period, it was live tackling.
Yeah.
You only get good at playing football if you play football.
Play football.
And
100%.
so, and I
100%.
think that's why early in the year in the National Football League, the teams that practice very well, they normally get off to a good start, and the teams that don't practice very well, it takes them about to game 3 or 4, then you start seeing them come on. And it's unfortunate, but it happens.
Well, and the thing, what Peter was talking about earlier, is the fact of tackling going on in college football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Back in the day, you'd hit every day. You'd tackle every day.
9:07 at 9 a.m., 9:07 at 1 p.m. True two-a-days.
But the thing is, CJ, nowadays it doesn't happen
at all. And I see it a lot. And it's
well, let me say, it doesn't happen at a lot of schools. That's why I said what I said to you guys about those other teams.
Right.
They normally tackle, and that's what I love. Yeah. Everything is such a physical nature, and those schools could do it because and the starter knew. I never forget how many players we would get from Alabama that would come to Cincinnati, and they really couldn't play their first year. They were beat up. Their bodies were beat up, and they couldn't play, and you wouldn't get nothing out of them until year 2 because they know if they sat down in college, the guy that was behind him was going to beat them out, and they weren't going to play anymore.
Yep. I'll tell you what, I interviewed so many kids from Alabama, combine, all-star games, whatever. And they're like, it came Saturday. It was a vacation.
Easy.
we were so beat up during the week. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Teffer was the same way. Every Tuesday, when we came to work every Tuesday, our run period was live. That was the live period during the week. Our run period was live, and it wasn't like versus the scouts. It was one-on-ones. Like it was ones
Yes.
versus ones. We'll worry about this scout team stuff later, but y'all still got to learn how to tackle, block. You got to play football.
Yeah.
And as a at least with the new preseason rules, I never got a chance to play in it. I retired before, but I know a lot of the players. There's a lot of players are like the old veterans that don't like it because what we as us, like I know what I need to be ready for at a certain time, and I know when I'm training and I'm working. Okay, I know I'm gonna get this many plays game 1, this many games played 2. I'm finna play a whole half and maybe the first series of the third quarter game 3, and now I'm acclimating my body and I'm working towards that. A lot of the veterans that I taught that I'm still close with that are still playing now. This would have been year 13 for me, right? A lot of those veterans are like, it's hard because now these coaches are sitting us. We want to play. We understand it, but now they're sitting us, and now I don't really get into a rhythm until week 3, week 4 in the season because I'm just I've sat for 3 preseason games, like truly sat, nothing.
Let me throw this rule out to you guys. In order to encourage quarterbacks playing the preseason, quarterbacks get to wear red jerseys in the preseason games.
No, that doesn't help them.
It's no different than having the scrimmages that they're having.
That don't help them.
Yes.
But the coaches aren't playing the quarterbacks because of it, and that's why they would rather play them in the controlled scrimmages because of safety concerns. Aaron Rodgers might have had 15 snaps all summer.
I mean, I've seen more coaches have conversations before games when the starters were in and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna play somebody, Andy Dalton, for 2 series, and we're gonna run our base pass game, and all I ask is that you don't bring cover 0 blitz. You can bring anything else, just don't bring 0 blitz." And coach, I got you. We're not working on 0 at this time anyway. But everybody normally has a schedule and a system as they go into the preseason with to say, okay, this is when we're going to put in this particular fire zone, this pressure, this whatever to make sure it's ready for the season. Mm-hmm.
Well, so I guess what I heard was last year, Wink Martindale when the Jets were playing the Giants, and he was going cover 0 against Aaron.
Because that's what Wing do. Wing
and supposedly Aaron was just like, what the?
Yeah, Wing Martindale going blitz.
Well, you'll laugh. It was 2014, and we're playing Rex in the preseason, Rex Ryan, and Rex would bring it. Rex didn't care.
That's
they're just going to do it. They're going to line up in bear, and here they come.
Blitz play made a man behind it.
I said, okay. And I knew they were, so we went in unbalanced. We went up and down the field. You can go look at the tape. They couldn't stop us.
Oh my goodness.
He was hot. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna do that? Well, I know you're bringing cover 0 blitz. I'm not gonna play this game with you." Yeah.
But right. But I get. But that's the stuff that goes on, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
All right. So is that play shown on your guys' screen right there? Have I done that?
Yeah, little stick Omaha, very old school play.
All right, give me a little stick Omaha.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so stick Omaha is a great play. For the quarterback, it becomes a pick a side play because you can throw either way, right? And obviously zone coverage is a pick a side play, but when it becomes man, obviously you want that winner back over there to the short side, because you got to fade now out, so that's good stuff. But it's teaching the quarterback because he got to understand the hots. He's got to understand how to redirect the protection. He's got to understand, is an in walked out, all those things. There's a lot that goes into these plays.
All right, so this right here is a play. So while we're waiting for the Broncos to come back. So Hugh, there's 6. This is the same play 6 different ways, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's based on how the defense plays you, or you guys are doing different formations, or maybe you're putting someone different receiver at X or different receiver at Z, right?
Yeah. So all of this, Peter, when you look at it, it's about matchups, right?
Yep.
So how do I put the players in the best position to be successful? So if I have Brock Bowers, he's not going to be in line. I'm going to have him split out. He's a bigger, faster body. That your nickel, I probably have an advantage if he has to cover him. So I want to put guys in different spaces, and in order to do that, I have to have all these different other personnel group formations that run the same play, and you learn all this stuff conceptually. And so that's how the players start to play, and that's how the quarterback learns. The quarterback, as soon as you say stick Omaha, the quarterback knows what it is. He doesn't care about who's where.
So
He
everybody in
just
the NFL knows a little stick Omaha is either a comeback up from the X, and then when it's a go route with
What are you doing?
the tight end doing a little flare, right? Or I guess you
Mhm.
call it a
Mhm.
flare route, right?
flat
flat,
flare, whatever you
flat
call it.
flare, diagonal. The good thing, what I like about it, Pete,
So this is a
which
cover 2 play, right?
it
It's a
could be
zone play,
either.
but it's a man play as well.
It's a man play as well. It's a zone play, but it's a man play as well. What I like, it can get your quarterback in rhythm too, right? You can take the gimme on the one-on-one with the Venus or the Omaha, right? You can take the little 5-yard out or take the little Venus if you have the space, right? Time and throw, right? Obviously on the stick side, reading it out, right? Reading it out from the guy over the nickel or the guy over the stick. Obviously, if you get cover 2 and you get a chance to throw that whole shot, which is, rarely happens. Rarely happens. Usually, I've caught the whole shot, but that's when Terrence Newman was the corner, and Terrence Newman liked to jump the stick route. Like he jumps the stick route. Now we get over the top of the whole shot, but it's a rhythm play for the QB, especially when you can just take the gimme on the backside and just throw it and it's an easy 5, 5-6 yards, 5-6 yards, right?
But it
But
goes down to what you just said. It comes down to your personnel.
Yep.
Who's playing where, right?
Yep.
So if it's zone, and I know my best matchup is our tight end on their Sam Backer, because he's going to break out and beat him on the out on the stick, then I'm playing that side versus cover 2.
Yep.
If it's best to go the other way, I go the other way. You guys were talking about something earlier about single high, too high, about a play earlier, and to me, you just make it very easy for the quarterback. If it's man, I'm doing this. If it's zone, I'm doing that. So now the quarterback gets to play fast. He gets to play fast within his rhythm and his footwork, and the ball comes out. So that's what it's all about.
There you go. All right, so the Broncos have started. Imagine that Garrett Bowles with another holding call.
Easy.
He gonna have some. Well, guys, I got a party to get to, so I got to get moving here.
And then after your party, you give me a call.
I sure will. Well, it's always a pleasure, man. Scott, it's great seeing you, CJ. Always.
Always,
Peter, love
you.
you to death, and I'll see you guys here soon.
Yes,
You
sir.
take care of yourself.
All righty. Yeah,
You're
we'll
good
do.
man. Good man.
Alrighty.
Good coach.
Bye-bye.
Respect it.
All right, let me get this out of here.
Broncos are rolling.
Yeah, I had a big run after the holding call. I don't know who held it, but this is what we're looking for, man. We're looking for Denver, right? Bo just a little late, right? We just talked about the mechanics with Hugh. Like, look at Bo, how he's throwing that fading away, right? Get to your back foot, step into that throw. You make that out route that much easier. Like we just talked about that. Bo's fading away on the throw, never really steps into it. And that's one thing that I even though the ball is there, he can make a better ball if he just steps into it. That's why I asked you that question. That's something that I try to do in my young coaching career is stay on the mechanics of the quarterback because it's just going to make life easier for you, right? You just some of those. Now, if you have the crazy arm talent like Aaron Rodgers, you can throw the ball from any platform, Patrick Mahomes. Sometimes you kind of let that get away, but with some of these guys, they got to stay on it.
They're few and far between, partner.
Amen to that.
Few and far between. Mechanics are so important for the quarterback. So important. But the thing about it is now in college, they don't get taught them. They're in the shotgun. It's not a 3, 5, 7-step drop, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just get the ball, already predetermine where you're going with it and throw it.
So one thing, and Hugh left just in time. One thing I'm not a fan of, I don't know Hugh might be, is putting our tight ends on premier pass rushers. You just had the tight end tried to block Max Crosby, gave up the sack. That's what we pay left tackles for.
Well, but yeah, and I'm with you. And with the spread systems now in college and come to the NFL, they I'm always looking for a Y, which is inline.
True Y, inline blocking tight end. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. They can still make plays, as an athlete,
Right.
run routes and do all that. And they're hard to find, partner. They're hard to find,
especially with the like you said, with the college system these days. That's
Yep.
why Brock Bowers.
Yep.
That's why Brock Bowers had so much value.
Yep.
Because he was that inline Y,
Yep.
but he was so
Yep.
athletic to play F. Right.
Yep.
That's why he's so much value in those situations. And with a lot of these college systems, some of these college systems don't even have tight ends on the roster.
Well, if there are tight ends, like you said, they're all Fs. They're all flexed. They're flexed every snap. And then, if you want to run the ball, you want to play power ball, you bring in another offensive lineman to be the tight end. So when you find a Y, which I'm old school,
Me too.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so two things about the Broncos game. Christian Wilkins has been ruled out for the rest of the game. He was their leading tackler.
Wow.
Yep. 2 tackles for loss, 5 tackles and a sack. And, of course, Max Crosby just had his second sack.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Sack over the tight end. Tight end, they had him one-on-one. No chip help, no O-line help. Just him and the tight end on the island.
Right, so how does that happen?
Block Max Crosby was just a tight end. I promise you.
Right. At some point, doesn't the offensive coordinator say, WTF or?
Well, it was just misinformation. It had to be something. It had to be the play call. It had to be something was going on. But
CJ,
you wouldn't do that.
Is that the quarterback's responsibility to recognize that? Oh, we're sliding to the protection to the left. Oh, we're screwed because 98 just walked out to the right. What do we do?
Yes.
Well, and that you also have a plan with it as far as like the chip help. So like the running back didn't go out there to chip help. You usually don't leave the tight end on the island unless he's like a true blocking. I can do, but against these pass rushers, you usually don't leave them on the island. So it was an interesting, especially on third down, right during the situation of the call too. So it's super interesting to see how Sean, did that, and why they did that.
Well, yeah, but I'm with CJ on this one. It's got to be on Bo. Bo's got to identify and adjust.
Yeah, and that's Bo understanding the protections and understanding what's going on. We don't know how much Bo understands those things.
He's young
point of his career.
But so if he's young, at what point are we trying to take stuff off his shoulders?
Well, it's tough because you don't know when Max is, you don't know where Max is gonna move. You're just calling it, right? You watch the tape all week. You see Max line up on the right. He lines up on the left. He lines up inside. You don't like JJ Watt, like Aaron. You don't know when Chris Jones these days. You don't know when those guys are gonna move. But you're hoping you're telling your quarterback, hey, find 98 when 98's moving, and we caught this protection, and you see it's a bad mismatch. You got to find a way to change the protection for us so we can be protected.
100%.
Right, but at some point, then like I said, with Tom Brady comes up line of scrimmage, he sees everything. He's like, "There's Max Crosby. Oh, I see the linebacker there. He's allergic to seafood. The hot dog salesman just got a big tip in the first set.
But he's experienced, though. He's experienced. He's been through it.
Well, it's what me and he was talking about earlier, right? You got to create those situations in practice, right? In practice, I put this 98 jersey over you, Pete. And there's a 5-minute, 3-minute period where we create that situations where we're not running plays, we're calling the play, breaking the huddle, and we're looking for you, and we're changing the protection if we need to change the protection. So that becomes in Bo's routine as he's doing that, and there's a set period in time for practice for those to happen.
There it is, Riley Cooper with a big play.
Yeah, right. Riley Moss, right? Riley Cooper was the receiver. I got you though. We here.
Both
I got you covered.
Yeah, a hell of a play, but you can't give that up on third down, right? VJ plays man to man. The guy can't give up. You can't One thing, right? Play press, didn't touch him. Another thing, right? Play press, and you gave up the inside. Why are you giving up the inside? That's 2 no-nos in press coverage by that DB right there.
It worked well.
It worked well for Jacoby Myers, who's a good route runner.
Well, so that's what happens. So they got him on the small corner. They love McMillan, but he's a little guy. And that's what he was just saying.
We don't like little guys. Do you know that, Peter?
Right. So little guy can move left and right, but you put a big receiver on him, and we win.
It's a big man's game, just ask CJ.
Yeah, he boxed him out. He boxed him out like if he was Shaq. I mean, he made the play. He just boxed him out for the first down. Like he's right there, but he can't do nothing because he can't get around him. He's too small.
Well, and I'll tell you, being a nickel corner where the guy can go left or right, it's you want to talk about shade and
it's hard. But
it's a bear. It's a bear inside there.
Yeah, Chris Harris was one of the dopest. Chris Harris was one of the dopest. Part of it though, Chris watched a whole lot of tape and played the situation and kind of played on what you was going to do. And take away the things that you might do against me, and let me. If you do this, I'm going to let you do it because I can play it. And then if I'm going to take away all this other stuff that I don't know that you can do. Tyler Lockett has a big catch right there, just why the Broncos are They're showing a little replay.
Yeah, but as you're well aware, CJ,
Tackle.
playing that nickel, you got to be quick as crud either way, left, right,
Yep.
and you got to have some toughness to you.
Yeah.
And some strength.
Yeah, the grit at nickel is like super important because that's where you're gonna get beat most of the game. So you gotta next play.
Well, you got to figure nowadays they're bringing cats in there that are, back in the day they were the small receivers. Now it's the big receivers are playing nickel.
Right.
Or playing slot, I should say.
Right. There's a sack right there by the Broncos. That's what VJ wants. Right. Great play, right? Get to Minshew. Right. Play good coverage. Just rush 4. Nice dip by that kid. Made Minshew step up in the pocket. I don't know who 15 is, but that was a good dip. Made the play, got the Raiders to punt.
Really, the Raiders.
Oh, DK Metcalf. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's fumbling the football. Oh my goodness.
Fumbling the football, trying to make the extra play.
Big play by the Broncos. Big punt return. Got one. Pick his legs up. Oh, he got tackled. But there goes Mims Jr. out of Oklahoma right there. Got a nice, big, beautiful punt return right there. Now Sean has some short field to work with.
It is interesting here. The Broncos, again, they're going to be up because of special teams and defense.
That's all right.
And that's good right now until you figure out, what your offense is going to look like. Those are great plays right there. And now, right, Broncos got great field position. Let's see how Sean, right, orchestrates it.
All right, during the break here, obviously, first of all, how smart is Hugh Jackson? What a great guest and
phenomenal
football offensive mind.
Love Hugh, man.
I told you I was with him.
I will keep learning from him.
I was with him in the draft meetings in Cleveland. He was the head coach. He'd come in and just be me and him, and we'd be talking football. It was really, really cool. Really cool.
That's right. Yeah, but I mean, just thinking about that. And number 2 now with that 40-yard punt return and 101-yard interception return. Even though the Broncos are getting out yardage here, it looks like they got like 130 yards in offense.
Right.
But you had that 150. Now they're up to 280. But that doesn't really show in the stats at all.
Yeah, you got the hidden yardage. The hidden yardage, what we talked about, is great, right? That's a good, strong run by Javonte right there, downhill. What you're looking for, right? I mean, both 10 for 17 for 105. I think this is where you want them. You don't want them to throw the ball no more than 6 or 7 more times throughout this game if you can establish the run. A couple play actions, maybe some RPOs, but Sean's doing a good job. Sean's in different personnels, figuring it out. Another run play.
Well, especially knowing that Christian Wilkins is out. He's their big, $25 million defensive tackle. He's a load. He's a dude, and it changes everything having him out.
And there's another strong run by Javonte Williams. This is what makes Javonte great. I know that a little article came out. Put him in this system, give him the ball. He just gets stronger as he goes. Right, it reminds me a lot of myself. He has home run speed though. I didn't, but just give him the ball and let him run. Right, here's another touchdown Broncos, or not touchdown, but another, right? Once again, we just talked about this, tackling. Make people tackle in space. So now you get your ball to little Jordan Humphrey, who's not little, big Jordan Humphrey, right? Who catches the ball in space, breaks tackles, right? People don't want to tackle too high. They just don't want to, look at 7 right there. 7 tried to hit him with his shoulder, didn't even think about wrapping him up.
And he's a big guy like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
the
don't want to tackle, right?
Devontae. And I agree with you. Devontae and you are a lot similar. Now he might have more top end, but it's just you're going to show up. You're going to play. You're going to feel you.
Yeah. And that's what I love about him. Like I said, I think I was quicker. He was definitely top end faster. But as far as punishing, getting our pass down, breaking tackles, finishing runs, wearing defenders down, we have that in common big time.
So, Scott, how do you factor that into scouting? The guys that don't tackle in the second half and the guys that wear down. I mean, that's why, a lot of scouts sit there and say, I watched them in the first quarter. Obviously,
Throw it away, Bo. Oh, my goodness.
You got to watch the game, right?
I don't like it. I don't like it
I'll
at
be right
all.
back, fellas.
If you're physical, you're physical. And you got 3 hours to be physical. You know, you got the rest of the week to not tackle anybody during practice. You get on that football field, you better show up and show your aggressiveness. You have to. Have to.
I'll tell you. So I will tell you something, Scott. You know, other than the Niners and the Cardinals, they're 3 great games in these 4:00 games. Shoot, who would have thought the Giants would be competing with the Seahawks? Rams are up over Green Bay, and the Broncos 13-10. They're all 13-10, 13-10, 10-10 games.
And Love is playing in the Green Bay game?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. He's playing the Green, and then the Giants are playing without their best receiver.
Neighbors.
Yeah. Daniel Jones is making plays.
Good.
Making plays. Uh-oh, here it is. The Broncos. Touchdown.
Yeah. You got in.
This got to be somewhat deflating, though. The Raiders really outplayed the Broncos for the whole first half. Now they're down 20-10.
Yeah, but not being mean, but the Raiders aren't a good team, buddy, at all. You know, I was born and raised. You know. But nah.
TJ, Scott was definitely born a Raider.
Yes, I was.
How long was your dad a part of the organization?
47 years.
Sheesh.
He played for 7.
You're not making that?
He played for 7 and scouted for 40.
And there's some great stories, CJ, about Kent McClellan, Scott's dad, and Al. They would sit there on the Thursday or Friday before the draft and argue over a player, right? And Al's like, well, I think he's a 4th rounder. And Kent would be like, no, he's a 7th round. They would go at it for 2 or 3 hours. It didn't matter because everybody else in the league had him as a 2nd rounder. He wasn't going to be there in the 4th, and he certainly wasn't going to be there in the 7th. They would sit there and argue for 2 or 3 hours over this player, right, Scott?
Yeah.
And the player, it wouldn't matter because he wasn't going to be there anyways.
Yeah.
But that's the difference, too, now with Al Davis, is that when he was running things and asking those questions, he had the football background. Giants touchdown.
Wow, what a ball by Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And Scott, Scott, not a big fan
Big fan of what?
of the Daniel Jones.
No.
No.
Why is that?
Because he hasn't produced.
Yeah, but he's also been with multiple different coordinators.
It don't matter. You still got to produce. Football players are football players. You know
I like that. I like that.
And he's getting
I
paid.
do think Dayball, like Josh Allen, Dayball changed him. I do think him paired up with Dayball will make him a lot better.
Well, we'll find out. So far, it hasn't worked. But he's getting paid.
Well, year 1 it worked. They made the playoffs their first year together. Last year Daniel was hurt. This is their 3rd year together.
Yeah. And what are they doing? They let Barkley walk, who was their best player.
Is that Daniel Jones' fault? Or is that your job?
No, it's Daniel Jones' fault because they paid Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
They couldn't pay both of them.
Well, what happened was on that, and from the agent's perspective, is both were unrestricted free agents. You only have the franchise tag can only be used on one player.
Correct.
Franchise tag for the running back was, I think, $10.8 million. Franchise tag for the quarterback was $38 million.
Correct.
So they went to the running back, to Saquon, and said, look, if you do a deal and, we would normally pay you 12, but we'll pay you, I think it was 13.5. So they gave a $1.5 million bump because then they could franchise Daniel and go year to year. The running back turned it down, thinking he was worth 15. Then
and what do you get?
With the franchise, Saquon.
No way Saquon thought he was worth $15 million.
No, they asked for 16, and he would have settled for 15.
That's crazy.
And then it turns out Saquon winds up getting less from Philadelphia the year later. So he should have taken the deal.
No, he's on a better team. He's got a chance for playoffs.
Ooh, Philly's not. Have you watched any football lately?
Philly's struggling.
You watch the Giants?
I mean, they both look bad.
Christ
But
Almighty, they got no chance.
right, he has better opportunities on Philly for sure.
Much
That
better
is
on Philly. Much
but
better on
Philly's-
Philly.
But Philly is definitely struggling.
You get AJ Brown back, you'll see what happens.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. Yeah, they're missing a
Yep.
lot of guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Philly's 2-2. The Giants right now are beating Seattle.
It'll
Giants are
change.
1-3.
It'll change. Don't worry.
I'll tell you something. Here's an interesting thing as they're showing the Broncos touchdown here. The Seahawks schedule, if you really look at it, so they played Monday night in Detroit. So an away Monday night game. The 2 games before them, they played against teams coming off of, I think they were not buys, but they were East Coast teams flying out west, right? And now they're going to play Thursday night. So they went Monday, which means you get home at what time? If you're in a West Coast team, CJ, from a Monday night game, 6 a.m.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Not 6. It's earlier than that.
3, 4 in
Yeah.
the morning.
And I've
That's
done
still
it many
early.
times.
I still got to be in the building by 9.
Right.
Yeah, I've done it. Don't worry.
But to go,
Me both.
I got to be in the building at freaking 5:30.
Yeah, you're in the building way earlier than I am.
right, but to go to away Monday into a Sunday into a Thursday, right?
That's all right.
I'm just
Right.
saying, that's a little bit tougher. And then here's another interesting thing. So the Vikings played the Jets, and normally they give the team the bye the week after England,
Yep.
but they didn't give the Jets the bye, but they give them an extra day because they're playing on Monday.
Huh.
Well,
Interesting.
remember the Thursday night game that Seattle's going to play is at home though. They don't have to travel. So
That
that's
makes it
always
really
good.
That's right.
That makes it way. I used to love Thursday night games. We ain't got to travel.
And you get two maybe 3 days off going forward if you win.
If you win, right? So now you ain't got to travel, and you win and get to stay home.
And yeah,
So
boys, we're
you
going
get that
out.
bye week back. You get that bye week rest back if you take care of business. Now, if you don't take care of business, you got to be in the building on Friday.
Yeah, no, you got to take care of business. That's for sure. And you want to because you know what's coming.
Right.
Oh yeah. I've had some tough ass coaches. I've had some softer coaches. All the players knew exactly how it was going on, but they knew you play Thursday night at home. When you win, you're going to have a couple of days off.
Right. As one of my players once said, they don't care how long the coach talks after you win on that game, as long as he says, "I'll see you on Monday."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gotta love it when he says that.
Oh yeah.
Like, we had some Thursday night games. Thursday night game we played against the Colts. I had a big game that day. We beat the Colts. And there was no better words than VJ saying, "See y'all on Monday." See ya. And the Packers with a great play right there, getting in the end zone.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love looking good, man. Jordan looking good. I like what LaFleur. I like LaFleur a lot. I think LaFleur is a solid play caller. One of the better ones and the young ones in this league. Oh, Gino. Oh, there's Gino. Gino just took off for a big one. Minshew. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him. There's another sack by the Broncos. Gardner Minshew, eyes goes down.
Right. But
What I did not understand is this, Scott. So you have the young quarterback for the Raiders. I forgot who he was, but played for you last year. Right. You went to go get Gardner Minshew in free agency.
Aiden O'Donnell.
Well, yeah. Why didn't you, if you know Gardner Minshew is, you thinking your young quarterback is young, you know Gardner Minshew is a backup. Why didn't you try to make any aggressive moves in the draft to go get some of the quarterbacks that came out that year?
Do not know.
Or why not try to go find the right veteran to lead your football team this year?
No, you're right.
Pick Minshew again. Just do a pick. Riley Moss, the white corner.
Well, but you got to figure with Minshew, he was like a stopgap. I guarantee their philosophy now is that they're gonna draft one next year.
Oh, next year for sure. You let Stidham walk out the door. Stidham is an upgrade Minshew, is he not?
Minshew, he has some moments where he's kind of cool.
He's got grit, Scott. He's got grit. All right, so let me just preface this. So when Rob said he couldn't join us this week, I said, all right, Al Heiss, why don't you join us again? You moderate, you be the guy, and he's late. Like, what's the fine for that, Scott?
Very late.
$500 from the get-go.
I know, but Denver's winning. That's why I'm jumping on. Okay. and just all day, it's not been about these guys throwing the ball or catching or running. It's all about the kickers. Have you seen all these games today? and when you're done kicking, here's you guys to know. You guys are football. Know it all. Ready? The little T. You put the ball on when you're kicking. That's what you use. When you're out of the game, here's what happens. Look at this. It fits perfect. It holds your drink. You try it yourself. This thing holds your drink just perfect. You're like,
so it's not,
and it's a course, only. That's your drink holder. Try it.
That is interesting, right there.
It's snap, hold, place, kick.
Yes.
We lost Scott. All of a sudden, you went to the Coors Light. We lost Scott. All right. So, is it easier now to kick a field goal from 55 yards? Because we've seen a bunch of them today.
Oh, let me answer that question right here. Yes, it is.
Why do you think? And it's an interesting question because we talked about it earlier today. Why do you think a lot of these kickers' range has became so much where, back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, 50 yards was like, oh, but now it's like.
No, you're totally right. They used to be like me. I played soccer in high school, with high school Peter, and then you just walked on. But now, you're training for this stuff. When you're 17, 18, they're doing all these specific stuff to kick a ball further, which you never did, because you're all playing soccer or something like that, Right. But you see the range in these guys, and it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I don't. They're gonna have to change stuff or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just are they better athletes? Do they just work harder in the weight room, or?
It's all the above.
Yeah.
It's all the above. But no one used to specialize like that. You're like, oh, I didn't make the college soccer team, so I'm going to play football. You didn't practice exactly that.
Right. But now they do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess they've been doing it for a while.
All right. So, CJ, right now, they just showed Gardner Minshew with the quarterback coach, right? CJ, VJ is dialing up a whole bunch of stuff. What's the quarterback coach saying to him?
Well, right there was man-to-man. I mean, threw the 50-50 ball, but he underthrew it, right? I'm pretty sure it's probably about the play before. Like the play before, he drops his eyes, he's looking at the rush, and it's probably because of what VJ's bringing, right? He drops the eyes, he's looking at the rush, and as he's looking at the rush, he's not looking downfield, seeing the people open downfield, right? The pocket, even though Minshew has been scrambling inside the pocket, I don't know if people paid attention to that. He's scrambled inside the pocket, which lets you know the pocket is clean. Quarterback coach is probably telling them, hey, step up and throw the football. Keep your eyes downfield. Yeah, you might get hit, but at least we're gonna gain the ball, right? We have people running open because of what VJ's bringing. So that'll be my guess. I mean, that's what I would try to tell Minshew right now, and calm him down. But it's tough. It's tough.
All right, so now it's Bowles is hurt. Well, look, I'm telling you, for every play, Max Crosby goes hard.
Yeah, man, you can count on 98 no matter where you at. 98 is he going everywhere.
And then, all right, so now they put the Wyoming left tackle in with the crazy hair. He ran well at the combine, but his first NFL game action. Why aren't the Raiders putting Crosby against him right now?
Hey, that's what I would do. Fresh meat on the market, man.
That's a good question.
Fresh fish. Let's go make it happen.
I know that, and again, Mick Jagger once told me it's not polite to drop names, but we were at the Hall of Fame. And Deacon Jones was telling a story about how a situation like this, he's playing for the Rams, and I guess the starting tackle gets hurt. They bring in the big white kid, his first game, and Deacon gets down in the stance, his 3-point stance, and he kicks his foot back a few times, and he just stands up and looks at the rookie and goes, "Boy, did your mama know you out here with me?" And the guy truly crapped his pants. And they had to take him off the field and take him to the locker room to change his pants.
Oh, so I have confirmation on what happened during the Deshaun Watson walking off the field. Now, it still doesn't make sense of why he did it, but it was too many players on the field, and he chose to walk off so they don't burn the timeout. But you back out the huddle and tell the other person to get off the field, not you. So, yeah, Deshaun's still wrong in that situation. But just to shed some light, Pete, that's what happened.
Broncos fumble the shotgun snap.
Touchdown.
That's in.
Oh, he drops it. He drops it.
Oh,
The ball couldn't be no perfect. He drops it.
the kicker would have caught that ball. Okay.
Oh, what a ball by Bo Nix. That's huge right there. What a ball by Bo. And he drops it.
Well, wait, so CJ, who has the over-under on how many times Al's going to relate everything back to kicking?
I don't know. What's the number?
It's going to be 8.
Whatever it is. 8?
Yeah.
I'll take the over on that. I'll take the over on that.
Those unskilled rest of positions, those unskilled dudes, I don't know.
Man, he dropped it, though. That's tough. That's tough. You got to catch that. That one to be talked about on Monday as teammates. Or on the sideline. Like, you don't want to be great right there, man. You got to catch the ball.
Oh, my. That's a tough one. Because on third down, now they got to punt it.
Yeah, you catch that. It's 27-10. You're looking real good.
All right, now here's the actual true kicker question. I said goes in the end zone. The guys, the gunner's right there, and he lets it go in the end zone. I mean, that's one of those sort of not unwritten, but sort of unheralded calls. I mean, that's 25 yards right there. The difference right there. If you could box him in there, and that doesn't go in the stat sheet either, CJ. The difference right there. That's 25-yard difference in field position.
Yeah, it's what we call as hitting yardage as coaches, right? Those hitting yardage, which doesn't go on the stat sheet, but it shows up in the game plenty of time. Shows up in the score, shows up in first downs, it shows up right in opportunities of what you're giving your offense or your defense at the time.
So if you're the punter, Al, obviously you're practicing always. There are two types in there. You're either hitting the coffin corner or you're hitting it high, right?
Yep. When you see the tip of the ball turn over on a long punt, you know that thing went a long way. When the tip of the ball goes over in the middle of the punt, that thing's going 60 minimum,
Wow.
And so as the gunner, though, especially if it's a high kick, you want him to get down there and then turn around. This guy didn't turn around. He sort of played it. And
the first gunner goes behind the returner. The second gunner goes in front of the returner. That's usually how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Obviously they're getting harassed as they're going down there. But if he gets down there clean, he's supposed to just put his heels on the 2, find the ball, and either try to catch it if he can, or if it bounces, try to play the bounce as best as he can.
And one of the great sort of subtleties of football is the kick returner when he's decoying and he's running up like this, like he's got the ball and the ball's going over his head 12 yards to the right.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. Usually, back in the day, he used to fair catch and then go hit the guy. You can't do that no more. Our game is getting a little softer as it goes, but
it reminds me of what's his name, Freddie Lynn with the Red Sox in the short porch at left field. Every time the ball goes over his head, he's like acting like he's going to catch it to hold the runners, and then all of a sudden the ball hits off the green monster and out for a double. But that's a subtlety there. That's where the experience. Josh Cribbs was great at that.
Josh Cribbs was awesome at that.
Sometimes going on the wrong side of the field, just to get the gunners over there. So Daniel Jones is moving his team for the Giants. All right.
Did they just bench Minshew? They just benched Minshew. There's your quarterback talk.
There you go.
They just benched Minshew, and they got the backup in, and he didn't look no better right there.
They think he's got a better arm. I was with Marvin Lewis last night at the Raider Hotel for couple hours, they do think O'Donnell's got a better arm. And it's funny. Adam Schefter just tweeted that the Raiders benched Minshew. Is it really a benching? I mean, come on now. We're rotating guys. It's your job. I mean, why does it have to be a benching, right? Your job as a coach to put the best players on the field. Maybe today just wasn't his day. Does that mean he's got benched? Do we have to be that negative?
I mean, is he? I mean, by default, he's the best player on the field.
Bo Nix.
I was just going to say that. Bo Nix, Sean, and David Webb are all arguing with each other. Did you just see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you want to talk about Bo growing up? There's the grow up. Bo wanted something, liked something. We'll never know. It'll get talked about in the media. Obviously, Sean would do a great job of keeping his head up. But obviously, David Webb, the quarterback coach, is agreeing with Bo Nix. So obviously, somebody's on the same page, and two
All
are
right,
not.
so let's put Al on the spot here and use his tremendous thespian skills. You're now Sean Payton in the post-game press conference. Someone says, and CJ asks you, so what happened in the blow up there, Sean, with Bo Nix?
That's sort of a baiting kind of question, because I'd say something got nixed. I'm not.
But Sean's going to downplay
that.
Sean's going to downplay and says, well, he thought we should, checked it down and we had this. And so I messed up, but we talked it through and we're good now. He's going to say something like that. When I guarantee you, Bo came off saying, what the?
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah. The truth of what's going to come out of Sean's mouth and that's going to be mere coincidence. All right, so here's Aiden O'Donnell.
Aiden O'Donnell just didn't look good on any of those throws. He just didn't look good at all. He looked no good in Minshew.
Right, but Vance Joseph, he's bringing some heat. He's flushed him out of the pocket. And Aiden O'Connell winds up 1 for 4 for 4 yards on this drive.
Yeah, that's tough. At least Aiden last year was actually throwing the ball to Devontae. I'm pretty sure Devontae wouldn't want to be traded as bad if Aiden was still in the quarterback force feeding him the ball. But as a coach, whenever I see the backup quarterback coming in and take over, I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah, and they're showing Minshew on the bench right now, and he's at least putting on a good face. He knows he's on TV. He's not MFing someone. He just patted him on O'Connell on the shoulder.
I think Burt Reynolds may be his grandfather. I'm not sure, but by looking at him.
Yeah, interesting hairdo with a 70s mustache is a nice combination. I think Al rocked that look late.
Yeah, he got a Camaro in the parking lot, I think.
Yeah, with an 8-cylinder too.
The Trans Am.
It might even be an automatic or standard transmission. CJ, you don't even know how to drive a stick, do you?
I do. That's how I first learned how to drive a car. My uncle taught me. I'm not that young. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, when she gets older, we're not teaching her how to drive a stick. She's going to learn how to drive.
This is an orange drink holder. I can see that, right? Okay. Right, the right color. Okay, we're winning.
It is the right color. All right, so now we got a break here. So if you're Sean, though, you know that they're going nowhere. You just had a blow up with Bo Nix. What are you saying? All right, so Al's Bo Nix, you're Sean Payton. Go ahead, CJ. Role play.
So, Bo, I have no idea what you was upset about, but we're up 20-10. You're playing well. I can call whatever you want me to call, but why? All right, we're trying to win the game here. Why do you want to throw the ball deep in this situation?
I never listened to a Hoosier my whole life, so I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So for our audience out there, ladies and gentlemen, Scott's computer died and his charger is not long enough. I guess he never heard of extension cord. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, you got to understand
with Peter's generation and not having stitching cords for the Chargers.
But CJ, you got to understand that Scott might be maybe the greatest college scout ever, and his eyes are second to none in determining talent. but he did go to Wichita State. And not exactly the Harvard of the Midwest. I think they called it the Northwestern of the Midwest, but not the Harvard.
Wow.
Could be.
Packers has beat the Bears 10 straight times. That's a long time losing.
Well, the Bears had a today, and we haven't.
Caleb Williams looked real good today. Caleb Williams looked real good today. There you go. Throw the ball, Bo. You wanted. This is what you wanted.
Oh, yep. Go.
Oh, Bo Nix on the run. Good run by Bo. Wanted the play action shot. Didn't get the shot. But Bo takes off for a first down.
Looking like that Miami quarterback running like heads up, downfield. Shouldn't do that. Slide,
I wonder how long AP lasts in Oakland or in Las Vegas. I'm sorry. They're not Oakland no more. Good run, Javonte. Good run. Strong, another strong run, but it looks like it's coming back because of holding, which 72 is back in the game. It might be on Mr. Bowles.
Peter, you ever meet Stacy Turan, Moses' buddy at Notre Dame, defensive back for Oakland?
Oh, holding on the defense. Holding on number 69. Holding on the defense, Pete.
Yeah, and that's why Bowles punched him in the face. So, again, here's where the Raiders sort of lack of discipline hurts them a little. They've always been known to have a lot of penalties, and this is hurting.
Yeah, they've never been a clean football team. There goes Jordan Love with the screen to the tight end, and now Green Bay's up 24-13. Good tackle by the Raiders. First and 10. Bo throws an off target. Didn't even give the receiver a chance.
Totally. Yep.
Can't do that, Bo.
Nope. Throwing behind him. No.
Gotta put it where he can catch and run, Bo. Gino takes a sack.
So with the Niners and the Rams game, it's 107 degrees or something like that in San Francisco, right, CJ? It's like the heat wave.
The heat wave is crazy. It's been crazy hot. I'm pretty sure it is lit up there in Santa Clara right now.
So the Niners.
Oh, big run by Javonte, and good finish right there.
Yeah, good blocking.
Right? That's how you punish it. That's how you finish it. Good run by Javonte right there. Right, puts Denver in Oakland's. Or I keep saying Oakland. Sorry, that's the Raiders I played. I never played the Vegas Raiders.
Pass coverage.
But put them in Vegas territory. Right, nice little draw play right there. Good call. Good run by 33. Way to get his pass down, finish the run.
Those Raiders always look nasty. I don't know how they do that. That's good,
But what I was going to say, though, about the Niners, so on Monday, because of the heat wave, CJ, they petitioned the league to be able to wear white jerseys because they'd be less,
hot.
Less hot.
Did they wear white or no? They were wearing red. I'm not watching the game.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find a way to stay cooler, I'm all down with that.
I think they just would rather wear blue jerseys, because it's close to the election. I mean.
Oh, that's a flag. That's definitely going down. He knocked himself out. So we got Pete back after technical difficulties. It's 2nd and 11 for the Broncos right now.
My internet keeps going out. I must be having a hurricane issue here.
I think it might be me.
A little windy out there, huh?
Exactly. Hurricane Milton is heading our way.
Are you okay with them naming hurricanes after males now living in Florida?
I would think if you're Hurricane Milton, you should be hitting Boca Raton or something like that, not over here.
Beautiful play action, right? Beautiful play action. Now Broncos first and goal, right? Beautiful play action. Bo gets around, makes the easy throw to the tight end, right? Tight end finishes the run very well on 34. We're first and 10 inside the 5. Or first and goal, I should say, inside the 5.
So CJ, that's a staple of the West Coast offense, right? You run the stretch, the outside zone.
The boot. Here go the boot. Well, in that case, right, so much gap scheme in Sean Payton's offense, right? Run the power. Then you do the boot off the power, which looks just as good as the stretch. And you have that. Now Javonte Williams walks in the end zone. Oh, he's at the 1. He should have scored. But he's on the inch-yard line. He should have scored. But this is looking good for our Denver Broncos here.
My wife's a big Raiders fan. It's just this is hurting,
All right, so we got 20. So if they score here and you got backup quarterback CJ, is this game over? Is our podcast end early because there's no chance, or can the Raiders actually come back with an unproven second year? And there's Bowles. Well, I'll tell you something. The one thing Bowles does a lot of, jump on the pile.
He wants to be aggressive. If the Raiders find a way to come back here, we'll stop doing the podcast. Let's just say that.
All right, so here's a perfect example of a lack of football IQ. Raiders jump off sides. 82 steps up and starts. You're on the 1 foot line. No, run the play. Right? What do we care about the 2 inches you just got? Stay in your stance. Let the quarterback run the play, right, CJ? Look at this.
Yeah. Quarterback sneak right there by Bogey. Your best Drew Brees impression. He jumps over and dunks the ball.
But
Broncos touchdown. Broncos up 26-10. It's looking good.
But why is the tight end? No, who cares about that 1 foot? What are we doing?
Hey.
All right, so
it all works. He's just doing what he's taught. Oh, wow. 4th and 1, and the Giants makes a real good play on Geno Smith right now. 4th and 1, they tried to play action, do something cute. Ryan Grubbs, the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, they couldn't execute there. Imagine losing to the Giants at home. You got the Niners coming into town in 4 days.
CJ, but that's why they went out and got Burns.
Oh, yeah, they made the trade, which is a great trade, and he made the play. Easy play for him. Right? Why Carolina is still giving up some of their best picks and not getting nothing back is insane to me, but here we go. You just saw Ryan Grubbs scream the F word and up in the box, but you got to scream the F word because of the play call you called, dummy.
Well, he's screaming the F word because he made a bad call or it was executed.
Probably both. I don't like the call, though. I didn't like the call, if I'm being honest, but probably both.
All right, so CJ, right now, so like you look at the Giants, they're up by 7. We're in the 4th quarter. Broncos are in the 4th quarter. You're the starting running back. Are you like, just put it in my stomach?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I said that yesterday. As a coach, I said that yesterday. We're watching the Cal game. Cal got the ball back with like 10:34 left in the 4th quarter, up 35-18 as Miami is making their comeback before they completed the comeback. And I told my defensive coordinator, who will be my future defensive coordinator, I said, I got to burn 6 minutes here for you. I got to find a way to run the ball and burn 6 minutes of clock on this drive, just so when they get the ball back, they can't make the comeback because time is consuming. Obviously, that did not happen with Cal yesterday. And right here with the ball at 13 minutes, now you had a turnover in the middle of the field. So in here, I can be a little more aggressive and put up points. You want to put up points, make it a 2-score game, right? Because we are in the high red. But if I would have got the ball way back, in my own territory with 13 minutes, I want to go try to burn 4 to 6 minutes, right? And give New York the ball or give Seattle the ball back with 7 to 6 minutes left. So they comeback can't be completed. They're just going to run out of time. But getting the ball in their territory, like what the Giants are doing now, go put points on the board, make this a 2-possession game, and that'll make the comeback even harder.
All right, so here's an interesting, and we'll defer to the smartest guy in the call, the Northwestern guy. But so the Cardinals score touchdown 23-19. They go for 2. Why? And they get
You know
it.
what?
Now they're down by 2, so field goal wins the game.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to be confident. In
That's
whatever.
gutsy.
And that's what they call. So
That's a gutsy call, right? You go for 2 to get it to win by 1. If you get the ball back, you kick 3, or you kick the extra point. You're down 3, and you only need 3 to get into overtime. That's gutsy. That's gutsy.
Yeah. If the dealer's showing 20,
right. You can double down if you want to.
But
think you're gonna get an ace. You can double down if you want to.
I think playing on the road was a factor in that decision. You don't want to go to overtime, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. I think that was a factor in that decision.
I mean, if you ain't got nothing to lose, you ain't got nothing to lose.
All right, so now the Broncos are going to be up by 17 points with 10 minutes left. Giants are driving to go up by 2 scores. 3rd and 3. Daniel Jones smartly threw it away, which was smart. And then he almost throws an interception, which was Daniel Jones.
But which we just talked about with the Kyle Shanahan, right? The Cardinals situation, right? Cardinals down 2. It's 11:25 left in that game. Kyle Shanahan got to find a way to put a 4 to 6 minute drive together, 5 to 6 minute drive together, taking things off, right? Taking the clock off, so it makes it very hard, right, for time constraints to come in. Now, obviously, you got to factor in timeouts and those things, but that's the kind of things you look for.
So it's interesting. I'm watching Bo Nix go off the side to the field after this drive, and I don't see Sean anywhere or the quarterback coach.
Sean just talked to him. Yeah, Sean's kind of explaining to Bo what's going on. I don't know if Bo missing something or don't understand it from an NFL perspective, but obviously Sean is giving him that and helping him out, and you can tell those are going to be healthy relationships. Pete, as you know, when I become a head coach and I become a play caller, and if my quarterback is antsy and want to get after it and wants to get after something, I think I'm going to like that, right? It lets me know he cares. He's watching tape. He's seeing things that he thinks that's going to work, which is a good thing to see, right? And as a player coach, sometimes you got to trust that. You got to trust who that is, but they also got to earn that trust too. So,
all right.
Sometimes you got to say, look at the scoreboard, coach,
There's an interesting book out that just came out by Mike Silver. I think it hit the
pick Broncos with another pick. There's another pick by PS2, right? Is that Patrick? Yeah, that's Patrick, right?
Game ball for him.
Yeah, game ball for him at 100 pick 6. Just played that one really well. Exchanged jerseys with Champ Bailey earlier today, the Hall of Famer, playing well in front of him, right? It doesn't matter what quarterback is in for the Raiders. They are going to throw you the football.
All right, now you can't go back to Gardner Minshew, right?
Nah, you made it out. I mean, the ball's on time. It's just good defensive play. The ball's on time. Yeah, it's just good D. Like the interception is going to show the stat, but the ball is on time, right? Aiden put it in the right spot. He probably could have thrown it a little lower, right? So Brock Bowers had a chance, but the ball went in the right spot. It was on time.
Yeah. But it didn't look like Bowers was looking early, which again, that's one of the things about a backup quarterback. There's not a lot of chemistry, a lot of time with Bowers.
Not a lot of reps with the ones. Not a lot of reps with the ones, as we know. Not a lot of reps with the ones.
Right. And so does this make Vance Joseph the MVP of the first third of the season for the Broncos?
For sure. I mean, he hasn't. I don't know, BJ. Outside of Seattle, I don't know if BJ gave up over 20 in any other game.
Right.
Outside of Seattle, outside of week 1. Other than that, the games have been looking like this. BJ has kept teams under 15 points. Like BJ's got the defense balling right now.
All right, so CJ, the ball's on the 42 or 41. You got to at least get a field goal out of this, right?
Yeah, I got to get something, right? I mean, we're already in field goal range right now. So I have 3. We thought he just put the screen right there on 2nd and 11. I mean, if I could score, that'd be great. But right here, I'm just trying to chew clock, right? Call my offense, keep it simple, true clock, right? Don't put the ball on the ground. Don't turn the ball over, right? And continue to add points. I know our boy Rob said that he thought the Broncos was going to score 30. We told him, no, it's going to happen.
All right, but so in watching it though, and this is again rookie, Bo snaps the ball with 5 seconds left. You know, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers would snap it with 1 second left. I know it's 4 seconds, but that 4 seconds adds up, right?
Oh.
Good ball, good catch.
I saw a flag. There's a flag.
Good play. Yeah, the flag got to be on the defensive side, but that's a good play by Courtney Sutherland. Us is coming back. Rob, to answer your question, I do love the way Javonte's playing, man. He's playing really hard. Broncos running back is running hard. Rob, if you're still watching, you're gonna get your 3-0, right? There's some good things going on, but this is what you want, right? You got 50-50 ball, right? Guys in phase. If the corner just turns the other way, he'll make the play. But hey, I'm not coaching over there, so I can't help him with that. But if he just turns the other way and lean on Courtney Sutherland, he'll make the play. I don't get what people be doing, what they scared of. But anyway, Rob, to answer your question, I definitely love the way the Broncos running backs is playing right now. They're running physical, running hard. They're doing some good things. Got the crosser. Touchdown.
You got
There's a flag. It might be a pick. There's a flag on it. And then I think Ryan Reynolds, I don't know if he completed the catch.
All right, so when you're in practice and you're working on the pick plays, are they telling you this is a pick play and don't get caught?
No, so you do it to a point where you're running and you get close to the guy and you stutter your feet and then you make like you just run around him, but you just want him to stutter his feet enough so you can get a little separation like you did on this cross, right? I call it Utah in my playbook. I don't know what he calls it in this playbook. Oh yeah, this is a catch touchdown all the way. But yeah, you got the crosser versus man-to-man. It's a good play call, and Rob got his over 30. And they got the over. The over and under was 36.5. Me and Pete took the under. We lost a double bet. Rob is doing his thing right now.
I would have taken the under. Now,
Me too.
If you saw, and this is something interesting about the fields, and they're all like this, but Reynolds gets pushed out of bounds, and the wall is pretty close. You know, they got that warning track, which is not a warning track. It's cement, slippery. He got nailed into the freaking wall.
That's the only thing I did not like about our home games because our wall's right there. So anything fast, full motion, running, you finna slip on this concrete and hit this wall. Now, that's why you always try to jump like you're doing the Lambeau leap so it doesn't look like you're going to hit the wall. And at least you can get to the top of the wall. If you jump high enough, you can jump in the crowd. It looks like a cool celebration. But you really did it because you was moving too fast.
So, CJ, we got AP. This game was close at half. It was close, and now it's turning into a rout against a team that, you know, the 500 team, 2-2 team. How do you rally the troops for next week?
Well, one, you got to get back to work, right? You got to, you just did the quarterback switch. You got to let the locker room know what quarterback we're going with, but it's more on the staff, right? You got to talk to Luke Getsy and figure out what do we have and what can we do well? How can we shorten games? How can we shrink games? We don't have, right? We got our best receiver, Baby K, Library. We have our best receiver, right, who wants to leave, right? That's one. Two, right? What are we looking like? Like, can we run the ball? Can we shrink the game? Can we do things that is going to help us win football games? Because we're not talented. We're just not a roster that's talented enough to just line up and play. So we got to find different ways to do different things.
Right. But so at this point now, what are you trying to accomplish in the last 8 minutes? Right? Are we?
Well, last 8 minutes, I just want us to play hard, right? I don't want us to give up. I want us to play hard. Right, I want us to execute right on the things that we practice, that we say we need to execute on, so I can show right good plays and bad plays. When we do it right, this is how we look, and when we do it wrong, this is how it looks. And I'm trying to get everybody on that same page when it comes to that execution, right? And that's something that AP is trying to do and have to get done, right? It's one thing when you're a player's coach and everybody loves you because you're a player's coach and you make things easier, but because of that player's coach, when you're not winning, right, it's hard to get that demand, right? And you got to have that demand from the jump and from the start, which I think AP does. but you got to have that demand and jump from the start that, dude, we're here to win football games. We're not here to do anything else. We're here to win football games. This is how we got to win football games, and this is how we do it, right? AP played for Tom Coughlin, who was a drill sergeant, right? Won the Super Bowl with him, right? Been to another Super Bowl with him. If AP was a part of that second team, if he won 2 Super Bowls. But I know AP was definitely on that first one, right? Leading the defense a certain way. So you gotta put it on there. You gotta put it on there.
All right, I'm looking at 8 total yards in the second half for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's tough. That can't move the ball, not running the ball successfully, right? Can't have a quarterback to throw it. It can be concepts. It can be certain play calls by Luke Getsy. I thought Luke Getsy was a terrible hire anyway. That's just my personal opinion, right? I don't say that. You know me, Pete. I don't say too much about coaches but coaches who I just their system just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm a pretty smart coach / football player, right? I'm like Hugh Jackson loves his system, right? I love his system, right? There's some systems I love, and then there's some systems, even though me and Hugh have different philosophies, there's some systems I love, and there's some systems where it's like, bro, what are we doing? That's kind of one of Luke's, what are we doing?
Well, do you know who the Raiders' first choice for coordinator was? He's the one in Washington putting up 38 points a game.
Oh, yeah, he wanted Cliff.
Yeah.
And Cliff didn't do it.
Cliff
I heard.
Actually agreed. And then because the Raiders would not have added a third guaranteed year to the contract, as soon as DQ got the job in Washington and Dan Quinn called, he backed out of an oral agreement.
And then I know they interviewed Clint. Clint told me that. I don't know why AP didn't go with Clint, but I know they interviewed Clint. Then next, Clint down there in New Orleans also doing his thing as well.
Tearing it up.
Yeah. I know they interviewed Clint because Clint was going to be my way in of coaching this year if I was going to coach in the NFL.
But so Clint, part of what Clinton wanted, especially when we went to New Orleans, he wanted, and it's smart, he wanted his whole staff. So
he wanted his staff. He wanted Rico.
He wanted Rico. And
needed Rico. I love Rico. Rico's like baby Alex Gibbs. You want the run game to go well, you better have Rico a part of it.
Well, Denver. This is good as look Denver's seen I've seen all year. They're clicking, man. They're they didn't keep this up.
34-10. Let's just look at it. So in the first half, they had how many yards? Like 100 and whatever.
I think 110. I think Hugh said 110.
Yeah, now they're up to 288 total yards. So they put up, they've doubled their offense in the second half. Now what's going to happen now is the Raiders are going to get some garbage yards because we're going to be in cover 2, right? And that's going to sort of skew here. There's 2 sides of the ball. Broncos 3rd in defense, 28th in offense.
Whenever you see the running back run into the old lineman on the screen, that's how you know the team is just struggling today. Just ran into his own offensive lineman on the screen pass.
All right, but now so what's going to happen is the stats are going to get a little skewed because they're going to get some yardage here, right?
Yep.
But the reality is they had 8 yards when it mattered in the second half.
Good point.
That's Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon. They took in the second round. That he won. I think he won the Remington Award, but nobody had him ranked really that high. Oh.
Who's the GM of the Raiders?
Tommy Telesco, good man. He's from the Chargers.
Oh yeah, they didn't want Champ Kelly, huh?
Champ's still there, one of the all-time really good people. So he's the assistant GM.
Champ, I love Champ. Champ's my dude, man. Love Champ a lot.
Yeah. And so Broncos are just now dropping in coverage and letting.
At this point, we just keep catching the ball in bounds and keep letting the clock tick, tick, tick. But you see, right? There's your stick Omaha right there, Pete, caught by Brock Bowers, right? Keep it simple, right? Just let Aiden get in rhythm, right? Just let him keep staying in rhythm.
So that's stick Omaha right there.
That's what that was right there. I didn't look on the backside. I don't know if it was an Omaha on the backside, but the front side definitely was stick. The top of the screen was stick.
And so that's just 2 quick outs and a go?
There's Gotti right there. That's what we call going out Gotti. Old Peyton's terminology. Mr. Manning's terminology right there for us. Or for me, I should say, in the offense that I'll be calling one day.
CJ, can you rock Gardner Minshew's mustache?
Nah, I don't know if I don't think my hair is too curly for that.
You can't get the big.
I have a different style of hair, you know. It comes with a different culture, different race, different all that.
Yeah. No, he's just hiding his stretch marks with that mustache.
VJ just brought the house. VJ, why are we blitzing up 34-10? VJ, yeah, look at.
I'm about to get thrown off his show again. I know.
Oh, VJ, what are you
But
doing?
I caught that out. I didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it. I'm sorry.
And VJ is throwing the house at him.
Just brought the That's that what Hugh Jackson was talking about, right? Coaches not being on the same page, being mad. You're up 34-10. Why are you throwing the house at me?
Well, if that's the case too, why are our starters still in the game? Well, there's Sean talking to VJ right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point of blitzing there.
Right, but at the same time,
there's Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell's right, throwing it on time, looking good. This is what you're looking for in the last 8 minutes, right? You just want to see your team execute, right? And if the backup quarterback gives you that best option to execute, there's a lot of Raider fans who felt like he should have been starting from out the gate. So, you know, he's moving the ball well. He's throwing the ball on time, looking good.
All right, let's cut back now to the Cardinals-Niners game. Cardinals stop the Niners, and they're now driving for a field goal. 2 minutes left. The ball's on the 30-yard line. And
no way the Niners lose this football game.
That 1 point play is looking genius-like.
No way the Niners lose this football game.
No.
But if they do, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for the Niners.
But how about the Seahawks, 23-13, and really the only touchdown they scored was my guy's 101-yard fumble recovery.
They're struggling on offense. After last week, lighting it up with Detroit. This week they come home and struggling. Week-to-week league. Gotta love the league. Gotta love the NFL in the week-to-week league.
101-yard return, you said, Peter?
Fumble return, yeah.
Oh, James Conner breaks through, and now it is 1st and 10 from the 2019-18.
All right, how many timeouts?
23 yards. Niners got three timeouts. 2-minute warning just happened here.
All right, so since we have a couple, so I'm reading this book by Mike Silver. Just came out on Monday, and it's about Shanahan and McVay.
Shout out to my boy Mike, man.
Oh yeah,
Cowboys, baby.
It's and the book's called like something like The Why is What Matters. So everything that Kyle Shanahan and McVay say is when someone comes up to them and says, this is what I want to do, they always say, okay, why? Or they want to make sure that when you're coaching your players, you always sit there and say, don't tell them to do running out. Tell them why we want them to run it out.
I agree with that.
And so the book is all about the why matters. And it's a really cool book by Mike Silver. I should get some royalties on it because I'm pumping it up. Uh-oh. Is that a catch? Was that a catch?
On the sideline?
Yeah.
I have no idea. They're not challenging in it. They're not looking at it. But I agree with that. I mean, I got to play with Sean, right? In my short stint. And one thing I told people, right? People was like, man, CJ, how did you outside of the offense being foundational, the Kubiaks or Shanahan's, however you want to look at it. But I obviously, Pete, I had instant success when I got over there to LA. But part of it is, right, Sean respected me as a veteran player, as a guy who played in the Pro Bowl, played in 2 Super Bowls. When I told him certain things that we should do and gave him the reasons why behind it, he listened to it, right? One of the biggest ones is New Orleans, right? We're in the NFC Championship against New Orleans. The crowd is super loud. We had a couple false start penalties. We don't know what's going on. I go to Sean and say, hey, man, I say, look, you got these you have your own tempo package. I was like, man, run tempo. Right, because tempo gets everybody on the same page, right? One word is the formation, the snap count, and the play, right? And we can at least get going. Sean said yes. Obviously, I just got there, so I didn't know the tempo as well as Todd Gurley. So Todd Gurley, I'm a team player. Todd Gurley plays in that point. We run tempo. 8 plays later, Todd Gurley scores a touchdown. We're down 10-7, quiets the crowd, and now we're in the rhythm of the game. I just remember Sean coming to me and saying, CJ, that was a good call, good thinking. And I just said, hey, man, I just remember that. Playing with Peyton, getting in that tempo because everybody's in that same mindset, same mode. So play the tempo, and we're going to do that. And, so that why is there. And Sean even listened to certain players, even a guy like me who just came to the team 6 weeks prior to that.
All right, so the Cardinals 1st and 10, 2-minute warning. They run James Conner up the middle, so they're Niners call timeout. So
2 minute warning. 2 minute warning. 2 minute warning.
no, I'm at 150.
Yeah, 156. Oh, you're at 150. Okay, you're above me then. Yeah.
Right, I'm ahead of you on that one. But so they're going to get the ball if they provided they run 3 running plays. They'll get the ball back with about 1:30, down by a point.
If they continue to stop the run, yeah, no, don't give no yards up for sure.
All right, so now Aiden O'Connell's got a 73 yards passing, skews the whole statistics. DJ's going to be pissed because he
gave up 17, gave up more
Yep.
than he wanted to.
Yep.
he was averaging 280 yards a game in defense. Now they're at 315. All right, but at some point here, and both y'all played big time football. Why are your starters still in the game? Aren't you worried about risking injury? What are we doing?
Yeah, at this point, like, there's no point. 4 minutes left. It's 18:34. The chances of them coming back, like I said, if they come back, we'll get off the podcast. We'll stop doing it.
You know, if there's performance-based contracts, you know what I mean? You need to run up the stats a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Peter would know
there's
that.
I don't know.
there's
I mean,
that. But right now, nah, we got the dub, we got the win, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, and on 53-man roster, you can't sit all your starters, but at least your big time players, Patrick Surtains and the Bo Nixes and Devontae Williams, like, yeah, y'all can chill. Y'all ain't got to play no more.
And then the Raiders go for 2. Really? You just told me you know don't. We now know next week when you go for 2 what play you're going to run because you just put it on film.
Yeah, but Raiders still thinking they got a shot. 4 minutes, right? Still,
they're Las Vegas. I don't know what the over and under is. You know,
So it's third. So yeah, but I don't know. They're down by 16. So I guess the 2 means
you're down by 16. So it's two score games, right? True story games, right? Go for 2 again. Go for 2 again. Like,
so what you're saying, CJ, they've got a chance.
Statistically, yes.
they have an opportunity. They don't have a chance.
Yeah, statistically, they got the opportunity to have a chance. Now, would they execute on that? I will say no. But hey, what do I know? I'm the guy that's unemployed, right? Can't get a coaching job.
You're going to school. You're bettering yourself.
I'm going to school so I can get the coaching job. You're absolutely right.
Right.
So I can get the right coach. So I can move up in the coaching rank fast.
So Al, here's a question for you. Which is truly considered the Northwestern of the Bay Area, Stanford or Cal?
When my brother played football at Stanford, they gave you an A in your report card every quarter or semester they're on. You know, so you could stay above a 2.0 and be eligible. Northwestern didn't do that. So that's a big deal between schools like that.
Stanford did that? Seriously?
They did. And then,
Cal does not do that.
And that's when you would ask those questions, because that keeps your GPA over a 2.0 when it's tough because you're playing football the whole time. And Stanford did that. Northwestern didn't. And that's usually the difference between schools like that.
All right, so the Raiders going for the onside.
Oh, yeah, that was a disaster. That didn't work.
Didn't even have a chance.
Right. It didn't even go 10 yards, and dude just jumped on it.
Do they not practice this during the week?
It's hard, man, with the new rules. You got to get real creative on how you getting the ball back on the onside kick. It is tough. There's a gap run by Javonte. Just get forward, Javonte. That's all you need to do. None of that dancing.
All right, so it's 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. Niners have one more timeout left. 23-21. Ball's on the 24-yard line. I assume they're going to run it again.
Yeah, should be another run here, another timeout, right? Like you said, Kyle get the ball back with 1:30 with no timeouts, down by
Kyle
1.
Murray, the quarterback keeper, and he gets 6. And it looks like he might have got hurt.
Ouch.
He's up, though. I'll tell you, Kyle Murray, when he's running, he's a special player.
He fast, boy. He a little squirmly, too.
He's Michael, reincarnation of Michael Vick.
I'll give you some love on that.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the ground kind of hard there.
I'll tell you, Murray got hurt on that. So, minute 40 left. They kick the field goal. So, there's going to be 90 seconds for Kyle Shanahan with no timeouts. All you need is a field goal.
Yeah.
Oh.
This you want to know if Brock Purdy's gonna make $55 million a year? Here you go.
This is a litmus test for you.
Okay.
CJ, this is a litmus test for you.
Say it again.
This is a litmus test for you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. It helps with the situation, right? I mean, I don't think you pay him that much, but I like Brock Purdy a lot. Efficient, gets the ball out, right? Knows where to go with the football, gets it to the playmakers, right?
What's the difference in tuition between Stanford and Cal for in-state California resident?
Stanford's a private school. That's one big difference than our good old university school.
So
UC system.
What does Cal cost for in-state?
40 or 50. So I think it's 70 for out of state. So 40 or 50.
There you go.
Stanford probably a little bit above that, 65 maybe.
No, Stanford's got to be 80.
That's a lot. In state, 80? Sheesh.
What's Northwestern?
About 80.
But not even close to the University of Chicago, though.
They're about the same.
We might not be 40 and 50. We might be higher than. We
Yeah,
might be
probably
60.
are.
We might be 60 a year.
So Peter,
In-state
for all these like rich like sports team owners, football team owners, players' contracts are depreciable assets. Okay, that's what makes it work. Are coaches' contracts depreciable assets for tax reasons for the owners? Do you know?
Yes, for the dead money. Yes.
For the dead money. Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The coaches too.
Right, but the coaches have in their contracts when they get fired, they have offsets. So you take a guy like
Oh.
You can take me. My last year at Rice.
right, or you take Washington Commanders offense coordinator. Now space his name, but he gets fired by the Cardinals. He has 2 years left at let's say $6 million, and he goes to the Commanders and they give him a 3-year deal at $2 million. But this year he's still making $6 million from the Cardinals. So the Commanders pay him $2 million, and the Cardinals are off the hook. They still have to pay him $4 million.
They still have to pay him. Yep.
They pay him $4 million. But next year, because his contract expires, then the Commanders are going to be on the hook for the whole thing.
Yeah. So you get some coaches like Jimbo Fisher right now sitting back making 72 M's.
Just sitting there.
Just chilling.
Correct. And then the other thing is on those contracts too is that's one of the things that when if you get fired, like when Andy Reid got fired in Philadelphia, one of the reasons the Eagles weren't too upset about it is because he gets a job in Kansas City, he takes the whole staff with him. There's no dead money.
Yep. Everybody's taken care of. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, you never hear about that ever anywhere.
When what's name gets fired in Carolina, he didn't really have a great staff, and so they wound up having to pay almost 80% of their staff.
And you're paying two staffs. That staff and the staff and the staff that's actually coaching.
Correct. And Carolina's now paying 3 because they fired Frankie after 1 year.
Right. So now they're paying 3
and a lot of those guys didn't get jobs.
Right.
So, but so that's one of the deals. There is the offset, but it only matters if they get a job.
Yep.
We have a friend here, coach for University of Florida, and then Jacksonville, I think.
Zach.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, turnover? Niners? Game.
There's your litmus test.
Turnover. Niners loses it.
Throwing it to Kittle.
Throw it to the white team. Your jerseys are red. Take the underneath. Oh, no, he got hit.
Oh.
He got hit.
And Seattle scores.
Yep.
And now with 3 minutes left, Aiden O'Connell, VJ's still bringing some smoke. He's not giving it to Aiden O'Connell. He's bringing some smoke.
Hey, you gotta.
But there's still more of the ones in there. Oh, Sean just went to more gum with 2 minutes left. At some point, you don't go to more gum. So it looks like the Broncos, and a lot of people, I remember our first show, CJ, I said the Broncos could be 3-2 after the first 5.
You did say that.
People thought people already think I'm crazy, but that was proof of my craziness.
They look as good today as I've seen them all season. You guys know better than I do, but they look good.
Yeah, they do. They're playing hard.
Yep, they're clicking.
All right, so now the game that matters, Seahawks just scored a touchdown, 23-20, 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. Seahawks have three timeouts. Kyle Shanahan walking off the field. Ooh, he is not happy.
Oh, he just lost the game. He ain't do nothing on offense in the second half. I didn't watch the game, but I bet you if I go look at it, that's what it's about. He just lost the game. And Purdy was late. Purdy had him wide open underneath. Get the ball out your hand, Brock. You holding the ball, looking for something else. Just get the ball out your hand as a drive starter. Oh, well, Cardinals go home. That go for two makes him look like a genius now.
I'm telling you that one of the great
good call. It's a good call when it worked.
Yep.
It's a silly call if it didn't work.
that is a huge call. He should get coach of the month for that. All right, so the Giants now 2:05 left. Seahawks have 10 guys in the box, and the Giants run the ball into it.
Yeah, I mean, Giants, 2-minute warning. Giants got a shot. They got to stop the run right here 3 straight times. I think this is intentional grounding and a safety that's coming towards the Broncos right now.
All right, so CJ, right now, 2-minute warning, right? You're the running back. You know they're going to stack the box, and you know you got to put your head down, and you're about to get ear hold, right? You know it's coming, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love the situation. This situation is, right, stand bounds, right, protect the football, stand bounds, fight for yards, not for inches. So, something I learned from our good friend Bussy, right, know when to go down, right? So in these situations, right, I get the ball, there's nowhere to go down. Keep the clock running, right? Yeah. Only when you have a hole, you hit the hole hard and go get the first down and go win the game. But other than that, you want to protect the football and just go down, right? Learned that from Bussy, right? Thank you, Pete, for giving me that game, or getting me to him to get that type of information from a Hall of Fame player, right? A guy who's, top 5 ever, top 6 ever rushing in the NFL, right? Definitely helped my career with learning things like that from Bussy.
All right, but my point to you is you're about to get ear hold. And what I mean by ear hold is you're about to get hit so hard you're going to be looking out of the ear hole of your helmet, right?
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to get loud in there. It's going to get real loud in there.
But you got to you got to get mentally.
Oh, wow, what a play. Did you see that catch by Jacoby Myers? That's a hell of a catch right there. You got to respect that.
Right, but what I'm saying to you, CJ, is you get mentally psyched, like, I know I'm going to get hit, but I got to take this one for the team?
I think it's you just play running back. So it's just a part of the game. You're going to get hit. You've been getting hit all day. They're not going to hit you no harder. If anything, they're just going to try to go after the ball more. But they're not going to hit you no harder than what they've been hitting you all day. It's just more. Now it's just more people in there. Now you're going to get hit by more people. So you get mentally prepared for that. But it's the same as it's been all game.
All right. So are you looking to try to bounce this, or are you like, I'm not taking any risk. I'm taking it right up the gut?
No, I'm not trying to do no bouncing. I'm not trying to go sideways, right? I'm trying to stay in bounds and take where it is, right? Only when the hole is there and I can make a play. That's when I do that. But outside of that, I'm just, like I said, protect the football, right? First down, fall down, protect the football, right? Stay in bounds and fight for yards, not for inches.
All right, so we're coming back. All right, so again, the Raiders, I guess they still think they're down by 16, so they're in it. But that is a hell of a catch by Jacoby Myers.
That was a hell of a catch right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, gotta respect the catch. Respect the catch, man. 2nd and 6 for the Giants right now. Got to run the ball. There is everybody and their mama in the box in Seattle.
What's your?
It's a tackle.
Right. So now it's going to be 3rd and
5,
third and
4.
Yeah. So they call timeout.
Get that snap.
There's another sack by the Broncos defense.
So that gives them how many sacks? Hold up.
At least 6.
I got 4.
Oh, okay. 2 on Minshew, 2 on him.
Didn't they used to be the Orange Crush or something a long time ago?
Oh, they're definitely Orange Crush today.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Al, what's your thought on the hanging mouth guard that you don't put in?
don't put it on your face mask. You know what I mean? If you're not going to put it in, just don't do it. I guess maybe they're supposed to have to, or whatever. But
No, you don't. In the NFL, you do not have to wear a mouth guard.
They all
not.
do.
You don't have to though. Even though we get molded for one, and you can bring your own, but you don't have to. Throws the ball. Dayball throws the ball on 3rd and 4. Oh, we talk about coaching situations. Why, Dayball? Well, it makes sense. Kind of, because they're going to take the timeout anyway. Right? They're going to take the timeout anyway. But you don't want to get him 2 timeouts. You don't want to get him 2 timeouts. You make them burn that other timeout, Dayball. So they only got 1 timeout.
So you just added 40 seconds, right?
You make him burn it. You don't give them 2 timeouts on offense. Bless you, City. You don't give them 2 timeouts on offense to drive down. You run the ball there on 3rd and 4, right? And you make them burn another timeout. Now they got 1 timeout to do their thing. Now the whole offense is up with 2 timeouts, and Seattle gets a
decent return.
Seattle only needs 3. Oh man, some of these coaches' decisions. Pete, why do I don't have a job, Pete? I'm here. Just sit me in with a GM. Scott hear me talk all the time. Scott will hire me. Just sit me in with a GM and let me do my thing. They'll know what I'm talking about. And I can get the players to do it because I've done it.
We got to get Coops to bring you in as an intern this spring.
Ben said that, man. That's what I told Coop. Well, no, DA didn't want to change his quality controls, guys. If Clint told me if he had the control of his quality controls, I would have been there. But
he will if Quint keeps playing the way he will.
Yeah, he'll have that shot, right? And I'm keeping in touch with him. Even Brian Callahan, I'm keeping in touch with Brian Callahan.
Oh, Gino is
trying to get in. Gino with a big run right there.
TJ, we need you down here in Tampa.
Skip Pete, so I know Skip Pete, running back coach. He was my running back coach, but the OC, BL was with me in Denver when he was a young pup. Combs. So I know Liam, not BL, Liam. So I know him too. I don't have his number though. But I can get it and be like, look, man, I'm trying to get in. So I got some people that I know I can get in. I just got to play it right. I got to finish school A, but I just got to play my cards right so I can get in. And once I get in, the sky's the limit for me.
Yeah.
I actually love this and love football and watching tape and timeout.
No, we need you in Tampa, man, big time. Seriously.
Well, I don't know. They put up some points the other night. It didn't seem like it was the offense was the issue on Thursday night.
It was actually the overtime touchdown should have never happened. The corner tried to go for the ball, just make the tackle, and it's good. Just make the tackle.
Well, let's keep in mind it's never good when you give up 500 yards in passing.
Oh, yeah, not at all. Gave up 509, but
you're the Raiders 4th and 17 from their own 14.
He just threw that a little too high, wide open. He just threw it a little too high. That's timing, though, right? That's timing. Not having enough reps, right? You're putting them in right now. Just get that man some timing, and that might be a little different. Question is, does Sean take a knee and just end the game, or does he score and?
No, he'll take the knee 3 times
and tell AP, hey, you shouldn't. Tell AP you shouldn't be coaching here. We're gonna make you pay for those mistakes.
No, Sean, yeah.
Yeah, no, Sean's classy. I would take a knee too. Gino throws the ball deep. Flag? No flag there.
Yeah, good, no flag. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. It's the end of the game. Let the players play.
Yeah, let them play. I'm good with this too. This ain't no flag.
No, that was not.
First win against the Raiders since 2019. That's crazy because I've only got 2 losses against the Raiders, so I always dominated them. And I've always had big games against them too.
Yeah, but the weather was always crappy.
Not in Oakland.
Did you ever play in the Coliseum with the baseball field?
Yep. Played on that dirt. Hated that dirt. That's why I was there. You were better off going to Oakland in November and December because the A's usually wasn't making the playoffs, so you don't get that dirt. But if you got them early in September, October, you're gonna get that dirt. Fourth and 4, great ball by Gino, and Jackson Smith and Gentleman drops it. So now Seattle has to take the 47-yard attempt to take it to overtime.
And the Giants still have 65 seconds
They do with 3 timeouts
because
You
they
are
passed it all the
absolutely
time
right.
and they
So
didn't
they
have.
passed it and dropped the ball. You are absolutely right about that. Oh, that's a flag, leaping. That's a flag, but it's a blocked field goal. And the Giants are going to win. But that's a flag. You can't jump over the crowd no more.
So another game we were watching earlier, a guy got
Wow. The Giants with the block for the win.
holy.
I thought you couldn't jump over the crowd no more, though.
Let's
I
see.
thought that was leaping. You couldn't jump over the line. I'm sorry.
You can't step on anybody. Oh, he did. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't. Is that legal?
No.
I thought that was a flag now, Pete.
I want to hear what the announcers are saying. Hold up. Hell of a play.
That's a hell of a play. He blocked that too.
You do that every time. You do that every time if you could.
Jump the center. He's in the gap. So they're saying because he's in the gap, he didn't jump it. He jumped the gap.
But did he touch? Did he touch anybody?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You can jump up, but you can't touch them.
Yep.
You can't.
Right.
Like, did he clear the jump or did he use it as leverage?
You do that every time. Every time if you could. No. It was an athletic play. I got to give it to
They're
him.
saying they practiced it. The announcers are saying that it's a legal play.
Yeah,
But of course-
I think you can jump over as long as you clear
Don't
them.
touch anybody?
You can't. Yeah, so like, oh, he didn't touch nobody.
Oh, he didn't touch anybody.
He didn't touch
All right.
nobody, so it is
All right.
legal. It is legal.
How about that, huh?
Well, as we wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you for joining us. Don't forget me and Peter and Rob and Scott. We will be back on Friday with a little preview. Broncos are 3-2 right now. Final thoughts, anybody?
This is the only way to watch. You guys are awesome. It makes the game interesting and fun. It does. You guys are awesome.
Well, I think that what makes it awesome is the fact that we have such different perspectives. Even bringing Al in with his, esoteric Northwestern elitist bullshit that he brings, and his background as a kicker, as a running back, Scott as the extraordinary scout. And that's what makes it fun is the different perspectives.
Yeah, man. Got the coach player perspective, got the GM perspective, got the agent perspective, right? And we bring in you, who's a full-time coach, right? So it makes it fun. It makes it fun. And I guess what we can say is after the first 5 weeks in the season, we are what we thought the Broncos would be, somewhere right above 500 or right below it, right? 3-2 or 2-3.
Yeah.
Right. That's something that we said when we first started. So I'm pretty sure this Friday we'll talk about the next quarter, the going through the month of October, where Pete, football's starting to get serious. These games are starting to matter now, right? It's gonna start shaping up some things here as you get through the month of October.
I'm trying to see what our record is on doing the podcast. We lost the Seattle game. We won the Tampa game. So I think we're 3-1.
Something like that. Nah, I know the last 2 weeks I went Jets. I lost the Jets game. I did go with the Broncos this game. I lost the Jets game. Yeah, I lost the Jets game.
Hopefully my
and the Tampa game.
Hopefully my house is still here next week. On the next one.
Oh yeah, you're out there, Storm Central, right?
You guys aren't looking at like.
I thought it hasn't cleared. I thought you guys have. I thought it's cleared through. I thought everything was fine.
Oh, there's another one heading right at us.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's a big one.
Are you evacuating?
Right at Tampa. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's reconvene next week. And it was a great show, great fun. Now we got to do as an agent, I got to do some recruiting.
Yes, you do.
You get everybody from IMG.
Speaking of recruiting,
Florida, you know that, man.
Speaking of recruiting,
we're right here, dude.
Hey, expect a phone
Not
call.
for long.
Expect a phone call.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thursday.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
He played extremely well too.
I
know
love
we'll see
him.
the
I love him
game.
as a running back. Let's go.
Cool.
Love you guys.
All right,
All right,
later.
guys. Later.
Bye.
Okay.
If you're going out there, I'll have one more. That was funny with the beer holder.